Cougar Bourbon, aged 5 years and smooth. And Cascade Draft. You deserve a Cascade Draft.
We'll see you at the show. If you don't come, we'll never know. You stand off in the back. You still stand out while you're wearing black. Jump onto the bus and ride around with all of us. We'll go out on the town and light it up till we burn it down.
This is the Kangaroos and West Coast on Friday Night Football.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Football. The Kangaroos and the West Coast Eagles at the Telstra Dome, where the Kangaroos have won 4 of their last 5 starts. The only stat against the West Coast for a long time is the fact that they are the worst performing team at the Telstra Dome, having won just 4 of 18 games. Apart from that, though, the West Coast Eagles dominating football in 2005. A big night for them as we welcome 5-time day and 5-time night Premiership superstar Dermot Brereton to Friday Night Footy. G'day, Dermot.
Thanks very much, Edward. Yeah, interesting to see how the Eagles go when they come to Friday Night Football without their, I suppose you'd call him the impossible to match up wingman Andrew Embley. He's been a champion in the last couple of seasons, but then the Kangaroos have some bad news in their selection front as well.
They certainly do. Daniel Wells is out of the side. There he is, not playing tonight. Eddie Sainsbury comes in for him. The West Coast Eagles as selected, with Adkins and Butler coming into the side for Embley and Edwards, who's been omitted. So here we go, the Kangaroos. They're big time on Friday Night Football.
I think Ferrito will get a job somewhere in the midfield trying to lock down on somebody. He's probably the man for Embley, actually, before he's not there, so to speak. Rawlings has been in tremendous form once again with run with rolls the whole time. Petrie will get some run in the ruck and at half forward, and Corey Jones to add the pace. Very good goal assist player. Harding's had a good month. Nathan Thompson's kicked quite a few goals. He's got 20-14 in the last 5 rounds, and he's also got an awful lot of marks uncontested inside forward 50, so he's on the lead a lot of the time. Hale had a very good week last week. He's a bit sore, but should come up all right. Watson, Piccioni, Rocker and Sainsbury. Now, Rocker is the wild card then. If he comes on and catches the ball, works in tandem with Big Tomo, well, it could be very, very hard and difficult for the Eagles backman to curtail.
He is a Telstra Dome specialist too, big Severio Rocker. Daniel Chick, 200 games, congratulations. This team, 13 wins, 1 loss, they are dominating.
Also, look at the boy in the back pocket there, Wirapunda. Over the last 5 weeks or so, he's about 5th or 6th in the comp for possession, so he's worth tagging out of his own back pocket. Chick on the back flank there, as you call, 200 games, congratulations there. Banfield on the other back flank's been a stalwart for the team. Braun on the wing is one that gets under everyone's skin, and he gets under their guard. He sneaks out the back of the stoppages and gets the first feed. Hanson's been tremendous for them on the half-forward line. Matera's been in great form over the last 5 weeks, and Kerr has been their hardball winner in the last month. Cox, #1 ruckman in the comp. We know how good Judd is. We know Fletcher is. Well, he's actually not a ball winner. He's a ball receiver. He also sits out the back of a pack and gets the first feed off. CB Adkins, Nikoski and the brother Selwood.
Yeah, he's got plenty of versatility on the bench there. We talk about Dean Cox being the #1 ruckman in the competition. Peter Everett's had a wonderful year combining with Mitchell. But have a look at this. For dynamic duos, Cox involved in the next 3, and you say 4, Derm.
Well, Daniel Kerr over the last month has been their #1 clearance player, so you could argue that Cox has been putting it down his throat as well. So Everett and Mitchell, the first position for the rankings, and then the next 4 goes to Cox and whoever's standing around him. He just puts it down their throat.
There they are, the West Coast Eagles. Last week, 10 points down at half-time, went on to thump Carlton by 77 points. Daniel Chick in his 200th game, congratulations to him. The captain, Cousins, next week plays his 200th game. They are really starting to hit their straps, the Eagles. Tonight is a night to put the boot down and fix up a likely candidate in the finals, the Kangaroos. For the Kangaroos, though, of course, If they can get this team to put it together tonight, then they will be absolutely guaranteed of a finals position, but more importantly, a real chance to go top 4 and get the credibility that this team desperately needs as far as being a top professional outfit.
We've seen the Kangaroos over the last few weeks go from a team which sort of sits around the fringes, go some hard ball work, but also they've gone very, very hard on the man and tackling. Now, this is live as we're looking at it right now. They're smothering, they're tackling. Their accent last week on the game was all physical.
Tonight, we're going to get a rare insight into the Kangaroos and Dean Laidley's coaching. Gary Lyon has been admitted into the coach's box. He's also going to be with the Kangaroos right throughout the game at the quarter-time and three-quarter-time breaks. Gary's in the rooms at the moment. He is part of the coaching box of the Kangaroos tonight. Gary, fantastic atmosphere down there, ready to go. Mate, what's it like?
Oh, mate, it is unbelievable. Sorry, I just got lost there. I was caught up in what's happening. I've been into the coaches' meeting here just prior to the boys running out. It's amazing, you forget. I've only ever been in one coaching box, of course, but look, we get caught up in it. We think all the different scenarios that might happen, but at the end of the day, as Dean Laidley just said to the players, time to take a real deep breath. Been a big build-up. Now it's just about getting out there and having a red-hot go. So, and that's what you get with these blokes, let's be honest. They're the most honest team in the competition. They continue to defy a lot of the critics. It has been an absolute pleasure and just a joy to be down here and a privilege, no doubt about that.
And here comes Dean Laidley now, who's about to join Gary Lyon. As you see the North Melbourne team going out with a steely resolve, ready to go. The coach, nice and relaxed, he's pumped up and he's with Gary Lyon.
He is indeed, Dino. Thanks for the access, mate. As you said, big build-up, a lot of media, but now it's time to take a deep breath and just get out and have a go.
Yeah, look, it is. And, you know, what we've spoken about all week is playing by our trademark and what we stand for. And, you know, as I've said, win, lose or draw tonight, I think that's the expectation of our members and our supporters and ourselves. So let's hope we can get the job done.
And the style of game becomes important, particularly with a team that plays Subiaco, a much different ground to this, very well, but not this ground all that well.
Yeah, look, we play very well here, and, you know, we need to make sure we put a hell of a lot of pressure on the ball carrier tonight. If we can do that and get the ball back and win some of our own footy, it'll give us an opportunity. Good
on you, mate. Appreciate it. Look forward to sitting with you. Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Gary. Dean Laidley, a premiership player with the West Coast Eagles and, of course, a premiership player with the Kangaroos. He's the coach of the Roos tonight. It's all happening on Friday Night Football. Can the Kangaroos assert themselves as a top team in the competition against the #1 ranked team in the country, the West Coast Eagles? We'll find out on the other side of the break. This is Friday Night Football. This is AFL on 9.
If you were to build a premiership team from scratch, what would be the first thing you wished for? A superstar like the flawless Chris Judd, a dominant ruckman, feeding an unstoppable midfield? Or would the first thing you wish for be something that cannot be defined, something unbreakable, like the Kangaroo spirit? Tonight, it's football's version of David and Goliath on Nine's Friday Night Football.
Tough luck, kids.
We call all the shots.
You can kiss the inheritance goodbye. Now the baby boomers live out their dreams.
Why shouldn't we enjoy ourselves?
Australia's new $10 billion tourist bonanza.
Just heading into the sunset. Yes!
And the greatest. Going for glory one more time.
What do you say?
How Lance Armstrong conquered cancer and the Tour de France.
I'll never suffer like I did then.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a carnival of savings at Chicken Feed.
Deluxe ironing boards with iron holder, smash the price, $14.99. Swing top rubbish bins, hot, $9.99. Storage towels are back, they're huge. Thousands of uses, bargain price, $29.99. And 50-litre glitter storage boxes, perfect for toys, $9.99.
Roll up to the carnival of savings at Chicken Feed.
Come home to the best of Australian-made furniture from Harvey Norman. Will sets the tone for modern family living so well, and it's just $19.99 for the 3-seater sofa. Vienna, a stylish sophisticate, but yet extremely comfortable. The 3-seater, $25.99. While from the House of Moran, the Kidman 3-seater in ultra suede boasts enduring appeal for $25.99. And the Edmund sofa, classically styled, superbly crafted, surely one of Moran's best. Now at Harvey Norman.
A great movie needs a criminal mastermind and a leading lady in a passionate embrace. There'll be an action hero in a fight to the death with dancing girls and lots of explosions.
Let's play.
More than anything, a great movie needs a great offer.
Then hold on to your seat.
Like 1 month of free movies on 9 movie channels. Commercial free, 24 hours a day.
Are you crazy now? Ah, yeah!
To subscribe, call our Star Digital on 132342 today.
What's the matter?
I just got fired, didn't I?
What? Well, we'll see about that. Dennis!
Before you start, Einstein in there forgot to put the ad in, didn't he? That's no ad till next year.
Craig, get over it.
Call 132378 now.
This month at 9/11, you can reserve a winter's break and win a holiday of your choice to the value of $2,500 plus $500 spending money. To enter, just buy any bottle of Jacobs Creek wine.
9/11, your bottle shop.
There are many ways to learn.
Learning can be fun. It doesn't have to involve classrooms, enrolments, assignments or qualifications.
Learning to learn from each other is one of the most important skills you can have.
Everyone can benefit from sharing their knowledge and experiences with each other.
Sharing between the generations.
Adult Learners Week, from the 1st to the 8th of September,
celebrates learning in all its forms.
Get involved in Adult Learners Week. Visit adultlearnersweek.org or phone 1300 303 212.
Welcome back on Friday Night Football for the toss of the coin, and it's won by Daniel Chick playing his 200th game, and we'll kick to the left of screen to the Tony Lockett end, the Kangaroos, under the guidance of Adam Simpson, their captain, kicking to the Coventry end as we welcome the man voted by his peers as the #1 caller in the country and acknowledged by all those who listen to football as the #1 man in the caper, Dennis Committee. Welcome aboard, Den.
Yeah, good day, Ed. Two sides in form. A lot to look forward to tonight, and Dean Laidley letting Gary Lyon in the box. Terrific.
Let's go down to Tony Jones, who's boundary side as always. Tony, welcome aboard.
Yeah, good on you, Ed. Thanks very much for that. Well, Dermot was talking about how ferocious the Kangaroos have become. Last week in their match against Essendon, the tackle count was a staggering 53-21, and statisticians are saying that's the biggest gap ever since stats were taken. So they'll be concentrating on that again. But while they've been a hardy lot on the field, I don't know if we can say the same about their supporters tonight. I think the colds kept many away, and at a time when the Kangaroos needed them out in force, they might have just deserted them a little bit, probably around about just under 30,000 at the moment. Hopefully that builds up, Ed.
Yeah, not a bad crowd, though, for the Kangaroos tonight, Tone. And, well, they're up and going, the Kangaroos. Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkins, because David Hale's out there, Pete, and that's good news for the Kangas.
Yeah, just a little broken sinus bone just under the left cheekbone. So it's black eye, a bit like Dermot, Ed, so keep an eye on that. Daniel Wells will be back next week. That's the good news for the Kangaroos, but not so good Andrew Embley. Just for the West Coast supporters, another 6 weeks before he's back with that broken foot.
OK, then, thanks, Pete. We'll find out more about Dermot in a moment, but Hunter living up to his name on David Hale, just giving him a little bit of a whack around there. Be careful, you get 2 weeks for that these days. Let's start Friday Night Football.
And away we go, Ed. Cox is up to knock it down. Harris grabs it, gets a handball away. Stevens runs beyond the wing and goes down inside the forward 50. Hale immediately into the action. Ball eluded him. Chance for Harvey at the back. Was he pushed in the back by Banfield? Stingline got it. Grabbed by Harris. He snaps. And what a start. The Kangaroos get the opening goal.
"21 seconds is all it took for the Kangaroos to kick this goal. And it was well done by Boomer Harvey. He's the one that the Eagles would have thought is running with the run of the ball, the direction of the ball. Well done by Harris. Look, he's at the initial handball to the side and keeps following it in for a bloke, not with great foot pace, but this is the one where the Eagles would have thought, this bloke's got amazing pace, nothing between him and the goals. He makes the play, good pressure.
Daniel Harris has 2 possessions inside the first 23 seconds of the game. And there's a goal on the board. What a start to the Kangaroos. Up they go. Petrie gets the tap, but it's snapped up by Fletcher. He gets it out to Cousins. On the left boot, he kicks it inside 50. Kangas have got the numbers. Good sprawl from behind, though, came from Lynch. Staker is grabbed, goes to ground. Harris with his third possession to Colbert, gets it going to Rawlings, last year's best and fairest. Now the Kangaroos away. Harvey out on centre wing. If he picks it up, he can go. He gets a good shepherd there from his teammate in Watt. Now Harvey. Well, he's kicked it straight into the umpire. It was a shocking kick, almost got away with it. Kerr now on the rebound. His kick stays in the air a long time. Great play there by Judd, who got the tap. And now the Eagles are away after a shocking turnover by Harvey.
Butler gave it to Hansen. Hansen right half forward. Untidy. Over the head of Fletcher. And runs across the line.
No surprises too, as he's kicked that off. He's kicked that off the point of the ankle bone, I reckon.
Well, the umpy had his priorities right. Boundary throw in.
Thought he was in the wall in a soccer game.
Exactly.
And no surprises, Rawlings tagging Judd.
Petrie. Oh, splits. Slippery.
Yep.
Rawlings. Slippery.
Yep.
It's slippery. Judd gets a hand pass away. Wirrapunda kicks it out of bounds on the bounce. Well, how about that? 3 players in succession. Boundary throw in. The Kangaroos have got the only goal. Friday night football. Cold night in Melbourne. Nice in the dome. Hear the instruction. So they hold. Cox hooks it down behind. Kerr did well. Strong son of a gun. Pulls it back towards full forward. Matera. How does he do it?
Well, he has averaged 4.5 goals a match for the last month. He's been in super form. He had a big haul against Melbourne a few weeks back as well, but that fella there, he's got under everybody's guard as well. There's so many people players you say about the West Coast who's getting under people's guard, because we all focus on Cousins, Judd, and so we should. They're so good. But then you get other blokes that come into the fore, and Kerr, he's been super. Ferrito comes off with a blood injury there, blood ruling.
Bleeding Ferrito.
He's close.
Matera gets the goal. Scores a level.
Leading Australian vets talk about Sasha's Blend.
I recommend Sasha's Blend to help improve joint mobility and function in dogs suffering from joint injury or osteoarthritis.
Sasha's Blend is safe for long-term use, but it's not just for the older pets. I also recommend its use for middle-aged dogs and puppies of the larger breeds to help reduce the risk of joint disease in later life.
Sasha's Blend, the natural alternative, available over the counter from vets.
So the Eagles hit back quickly through Philip Matera, Daniel Kerr, the Kangaroos defence falling over literally. 3 or 4 of them. Shocking bounce from the umpire. Comes down to Petrie. Tries to get the handball away. Rawlings in again. Petrie has another go. Advantage is paid as the kick goes up towards Hale. Dragged off the ball, surely. Should have got a free kick. Wow. Spills to Shannon Grant. Kicks to the pocket. Could have been a bit of holding there as well for Thompson. Eagles go to the boundary line. Umpires, let's hope for consistency's sake. Well, you heard the umpire there, a little wink, but still, that is called grabbing the arm.
That's a free.
All day, and that was the first one.
Yep.
We might have a look at Thompson's a bit later.
Anyway, 1 to 6, that was free, and 50.
Well, exactly. Outside the 50, Harris tracks the ball. Staker picks it up beautifully. Gang tackled, got it away. And gets one from the back. So Staker at half-back flank for the West Coast Eagles.
Had a good game last week. Comes in short. Butler in place of Embley. Back to Staker, who pushes up from half-back. There he goes back to Wirrapunda. So often the playmaker from this situation. Short. Back to Butler. He started right about here. Across the ground. Banfield is at left half-back. Now Cousins is breaking. Kicks beyond that. Hunter comes up and takes the mark on his chest. He's right on the wing. Just under 17 minutes remaining in this opening term. The early going as Hunter goes back. Banfield now. Patient build-up from the West Coast Eagles. Butler involved in everything.
They've been precise with it, aren't they? They're not panicking because there's a bit of a flood on in front of them.
Boots inside the forward 50. Now a lot of Kangaroos around the football. Taken by Makepeace. Putting his head down. Did pretty well. Then fell over. Flicked out of there. It's going to be a throw.
Backhanded straight.
Against Staker.
Well, Brent Staker's been involved 3 times. Twice he's been gobbled up on hard tackles. And then a throw for the 3rd time.
Harris goes out wide. This is Harvey. He's at left half back.
To have a big midfield man-on-man situation. There's no zoning off tonight.
Well, we took 21 seconds for the first goal. I'd hazard a guess it's going to take about 21 minutes for the next.
Michael Stevens has got it. Goes down towards half forward then. From behind Hale, trying to punch away. Now a chance for Grant. Will it stay in? He's forced to soccer. Gains about 30 metres. Still in the field of play. Thompson worked off the line of it. Harding's got it. Snaps and just misses. Good effort from there.
He's a difficult matchup, isn't he? He's so quick. They've just Kangaroos have been trying to get a little bit of hardness into his game in terms of defensive tackles and the likes to hold the ball in, and since he's turned that around, he's become a fixture once again. He's got all the talent when the Kangaroos have got the footy.
He's got a few tricks, there's no doubt about it. Wipunda from full-back for the West Coast Eagles. Once again, that hard man-on-man. Fletcher was the only one who got away, and it almost got to him. Kerr got across and took the mark. He's been busy so far. Great player, Daniel Kerr. From defensive 50, he kicks up to centre wing position. The big man got back Cox. Great play there by Hale. Went back, didn't give away the free kick. Forced it over the line and out of bounds. And as you can see, to the appreciation of the Kangaroos fans here on centre wing at the Telstra Dome.
He is a super player. He is a brilliant goal assist player. And he's about 10 ahead in terms of the direct tap-outs ahead of Spider Everett in the count.
Rawlings on hands and knees. Had the vision not to give it away when he saw an Eagles jumper. Harris knocked it forward. Good play to Grant on his favourite left boot. Inside 50 it goes. Thompson will crash the pack. That's did enough and got the free kick, did he? No, got it from the back. Well, let's have a look at this one again.
Because he's denied his run at the footy here. Look at this. And now he is not going for the ball, Darren Glass.
Yeah. Well, and didn't even make contact.
It's friendly fire. Now there's 2 incorrect decisions by the umpire. That's by the umpire at that end.
Well, they've been a bit stiff inside forward 50, the Kangaroos so far.
Burapunda to Cox in the back pocket, averaging 17 possessions a game. 3 times he's reached 20 this season, Cox.
I know we always say footballers would like a decision back again. I reckon Michael Vozzo would like that 10-15 seconds back again.
Cox has got it. The umpires tonight, Vozzo, Head and Schmidt. Over the head of Jones.
I'm glad you put in that order, Dennis, too.
Taken by Cousins. Down he goes. Is that holding it? The umpire taking a long time and says yes, he is. Kangaroos get the free. Actually, it was supposed to be Matthew James. He was a withdrawal. Yeah. Matthew Head got his chance then tonight. And Michael Vozzo, for the 5th time on Friday Night Football in the last 9 weeks. Harvey's got the free kick midway between right centre wing and right half forward.
So when I heard the Kangaroos cheer squad yelling that out before, they're actually reading out the names of the umpires.
Exactly.
Okay.
Roll call.
Not a bad kick.
Beautiful kick, beautiful mark. Thompson at full stretch.
Well, that one with Nathan Thompson, as we called it, he's kicked 20 goals over the last 5 weeks, 16 in the last 4, and he is very high in the league rankings for uncontested marks. Now, he's a 6'5.5" key forward come ruckman. You'd think he'd take more contested, but what it is because he's very quick on the lead, and once you get a body shape and size of that dimensions on the lead, they can't get around him to punch it, but that's a perfect kick to a leading player.
Kicked 33 goals for the year, 31 of them from set shots. Make that 32. 32-14 from the sharp-shooting Nathan Thompson.
Kangaroos led it by 7. In the gloom there to the right is our man, Gary Lyon. Any acknowledgement? No. He's a pro, isn't he? Back in the middle, Kangaroos making a good start. Thompson in very good form. 5 goals last week. Cox knocks it down, taken by Chart. This is Jones out of the centre square, swings it down towards right half forward, stretching his Grant, couldn't hang on. Well done, Stenglein took the footy, got rid of Grant, kicks it up towards the wing, and Braun cruising past his Cousins, has a bounce, running down towards left half forward, his second bounce. Coming up to Shepherd, there is Staker, still Cousins goes, 60 metres out, centres the ball, knocked down by Farito, took a chance, gathered it, the hand pass comes out, Colbert close to the boundary line, claimed by Check, make peace. Kept his head well, Stevens, Archer in the back pocket, looks back towards the middle, needs to be precise, wasn't, well played there by Butler. Did he take the man high? Yes, he did. Petrie will get the free, or will he? Yes, he will. The umpire closest did not pay it. The umpire who came darting in from the right did.
A good decision, though, because he had the side-on view of that arm going over the shoulder there. Glenn Archer...
Jeez, I don't know about that.
Barely.
Well, Glenn Archer is the... well, he's probably the shortest kicker of the footy out of the back line for the Kangaroos. Goes short a lot of the time.
Yep. And his teammate was running the wrong way. Grant owes him one for dropping the mark before from the boundary line. He kicks the behind.
Owes him two.
Owes him two. And on that occasion, that was not a free kick against the West Coast Eagles, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, well, no problem with that. What I'm saying, though,
Got yourself a facing you.
That the umpire who called it had the side-on view. Whether it was correct or not, the umpire closest was directly behind and couldn't even see that a hand came over that region of the shoulder area.
I was told that once, Dennis. 30 years ago. I took the advice.
There's Cox, short of centre half back. Swings it out very wide. A couple of Eagles well positioned out there. Fletcher having an enormous season, goes down towards the half forward line. Hansen knocked away by Watt, rode by Kerr. Worth a kick, that hand pass. Butler, who's been terrific, 70 metres out. Oh, well defended. Pratt diving in, fisted away, taken by Matera. Back to his feet, quick recuperative powers, should be a wrestler. Comes out of the back pocket, has a bounce, swings it out to Simpson. Simpson's at right half back. All the time in the world. Once he's left side, well corralled there by Lynch, forced the error. Cousins, uncharacteristic from Simpson. Cousins back inside the forward 50. Hansen goes up, couldn't hang on. Advantage is paid, no advantage here. Jones, Jones was hypnotised by Jones. Coming up out of the back pocket, there is Watt. Watt hand passes it back to Pratt. Pratt goes to Harding. Well, that was an interesting shimmy too. He gives it across to Petrie. Petrie's kick comes to Farito. Farito hard against the line, carries it out. Well, did he pay advantage down there to Jones? And if he did, why didn't he call it back?
Yeah, and that's what umpire Vizzo is being asked at the moment. Tony Jones' boundary side.
Nathan Thompson about to get a bit of help in the forward line with Big Sav now on.
Big Sav's gone up there. Hunter's gone to him. Good tap. Fletcher, though, read it beautifully. Broke through the tackle. That was great play to Seabee. Opens it up. Here's a chance for Brett Jones. Awkward bounce over the top to Seabee. The 1-2's on. Jones decides to go it alone, but he's missed to the near side.
They worked that pretty well.
Staker was had the kick on my apologies. Staker got the last handball on.
Across the body then. Yeah, they worked it pretty well. They were under pressure, yet they were still able to put it into space, and more a situation of letting the ball out in front of their teammates so they could run onto it rather than try and be pinpoint accurate inside 50. Harris coming off. He's been chopped up a little bit by Kerr in the last 6 or 7 minutes.
An interesting start to this game. Some mistakes from both sides and the umpires as well. Everyone needs to just settle down a little bit. Here we go. Grant for the Kangaroos out to a one-on-one contest with Punda from behind. Thumps it away from Harvey to the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in at half-forward flank.
Looks like a timed change for Petrie to come off. And on comes Sansbury. He'll go forward. And Hale will take the rest of this quarter in the ruck against Seabee.
Yes, Cox already off. Seabee knocks it down. Gains about 15 metres. It goes out of bounds. Charlton Pachoni. Simpson. After that mistake, just in front of our commentary position, kicking with the right boot. Wanted to go to his left side. Lynch played it well. Knew all about it. One down by Hale this time. Came back to him. Tackled front on by Selwood. The umpire will bounce it. Kerr. Been in pretty good form recently. A couple of weeks ago, 29 possessions. Started on the bench last week despite that. Kangaroos by 7. Over the top, Hale again. Judd in the grass, got a hand pass away. Socket forward by Harvey. Butler once more across half back. Set Stenglein a task. He was claimed by Harding. And the umpire says, what, he was taken high.
Oh, yeah.
Bit lucky. That was a character-building hand pass. No, not lucky at all. It was there. On the outer side, Selwood gives it to Butler. And the midfielders, yes. He kicks inside the forward 57. Possessions now for Butler. And his 7 finishes up in the hands of Lynch.
That is a good mark. That is a pack mark. One player sitting under it, and Glenn Archer charging in from the other side. Brown is Lynch's direct opponent, and you see, I mean, as good as Glenn Archer is, when he marks that, Archer's fist comes past about the elbow of Quentin Lynch. Then he's marked that a long way out of Archer's reach.
Brown in front of Lynch found himself in a catch-21 situation. There goes the kick to Beauty. A point the difference.
With 30 seconds to go, they need to move the ball quickly. Never write this Midas team off. Bang! Long ball into the goal square. Whoa! What a grab! Sensational stuff. Get into Midas and grab a Midas car service from $99. They even have logbook car services that won't void your new car warranty. That would have to be the grab of the year. For total car care, call 13 64 32. And you know what they say? Trust the Midas touch.
So 2 goals apiece now, the Kangaroos by a point. And we've seen some players changing some boots, and umpire Schmidt is bouncing to the left continuously tonight so far. Up to the half-forward flank it goes for the Kangaroos. Thompson comes out. Great play there by Banfield to whip Hunter. Now the West Coast Eagles can set up because Seaby's got away at half-forward. He fell over as well. Seaby's got it there. Players running forward, the ball being manned up.
Got a very good
Selwood's got away.
Pair of hands, Seaby.
Selwood. No one goes at him, so he plays on, kicks it to the hot spot. Staker's the man from behind. Pratt got it, then Staker had the snap, and he's put it through. Great play. All in one motion. Staker's got the goal.
With Toyota's special editions, Hilux 4x2 cab chassis Workmate and V6 both come with free tray and free air, saving over $3,500. Toyota's special editions, added value and genuine savings. Right now at your Toyota dealer.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
West Coast Eagles now leaded by 5 in the aftermath of that goal.
I don't know if anyone's going to get really hurt in that.
It's just the norm now, isn't it?
It's not even like...
I find it aggravating, dude.
Yeah, no one gets hurt, so why bother?
That's pathetic.
Just do it if someone's going to get hurt.
Hale hand passes it out. Sansbury to Stevens, goes down towards half-forward. In front down there was Harvey, well done. 55 metres out towards the middle. Thompson!
How good was Harvey? Turned 2 opponents inside out, and don't discount the catch. By Nathan Thompson, came over the top, legs taken from under him. He's turned Wirapunda inside out then.
He's got some pace, hasn't he, Tomo, off the mark, and Glass found himself in a catch-23 situation.
Shannon Grant probably thought at that stage, what am I doing here?
Dobson. 30 metres out, slight angle, should kick it. Put the Kangaroos back in front, and he does. His second. Ominous signs.
Two gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch.
Yes?
5 cougars, thanks.
Cougar, now in dark rum and cola.
And Daniel Chick changing his boots for the West Coast Eagles. He hasn't had a touch, so they weren't dirty, the other pair. His 200th game. Shannon Grant also changing his boots in the last couple of minutes. So the shifting conditions out here at the Telstra Dome, sorting a few out with the new boots on. Grant kicks it up towards full forward. Thompson's there again. He's got it. Oh, he's paid a free kick against Thompson. Can you believe it?
That is a wrong decision.
Oh, boy, we'll have a look at it in a minute. But that, from first glance... Look at this, look at this. They're gone. He fell over. That is a mark all day. Umpire Schmidt.
He's had his man done, and Glass clung on to him because he knew he was done.
Oh.
That's the third one that's gone against them inside 50.
Wow.
I tell you what, though, as a coach, you'd look back at it and say, Darren Glass, well done. Now, he's got him done. Now, Glass knows he can't get back. He's clinged on, and that's a push by Tomo. You're allowed to do that, test of strength, to protect where the ball's dropping to.
Well, he had the line of the ball as well. You can stand your ground. The other bloke was pushing in.
That could... Oh, it's close to a throat.
In the back, says the umpire.
They're getting the rough into the pineapple.
Straight in the middle of his back, mate.
The Kangaroos fans, well, get ready for quarter time. Ben, away you go.
As Stoker comes up and takes the mark on his chest just inside the boundary line.
Gee, there's Pachoni's hairdo. It's changed again. It's a magnificent one.
Well, another slip.
Selwood, after Stevens slipped over. Stevens coming to the contest, fell on the ground. Selwood, likely customer, goes to the pocket for Matera. He shuffles out there, invariably gets on the end of it. Just a remarkable player, Philip Matera.
And look at the space they leave him too. Yeah, they just decided a couple of years ago that even though he's only pee-wee height, he can lead, he knows how to get to the footy. So they give him all that space. Judd comes off and Rawlings actually follows him right to the bench.
Now, Philip Matera's kicked 92 from set shots this season, not all of them. From on the boundary in the right full forward pocket. About 5 metres out, off hands and through for a behind. So Matera's best effort against the Kangaroos, 6 twice, most recently round 22, 2002.
Got a funny feeling Brodie Rawlings will follow him to the shower after the game just to make sure.
Absolutely. And you notice too, when he knew he was going to the bench, Brodie Rawlings put the little sprint on for the last 10 metres to get to the line before him. It's just tiny little mental dominance things you try out on an opponent.
Harvey in the back pocket. So they try to find some room.
You turn around after the game, Brady, and say, what tag? I went off before you.
Shannon Watt as Harding comes off for the Kangaroos and Simpson back on. Umpire calls play on Brown. The long kick. Good kick too to Archer. Strong mark. Second touch coming up for Glenn Archer. First one wasn't that flash. That was a great mark. That's the view for Glenn Archer looking up the ground.
He does like to kick it short, Arch. This time he's going to have to go straight down the line. That's the safety kick. Good lead. Good run.
Good play. Simpson, who dropped what he should have taken, dives in on top of it. Gives it up again. With Punda in underneath it. Simpson went hard at it as well. Did it well, got it out. The kick came out from Sainsbury. Up towards Grant. It's punched away from by Nikoski. Here's a chance to have a Harvey. Gets the handball working. Hale. Good vision. Oh, just over the top of Grant. And a nice mark taken by Stenglein on defensive 50. Uncontested marks 25-10 in favour of the West Coast Eagles. Make that 26 right now.
This is Hunter right half back. Just over 4 minutes till quarter time. Interesting start. Butler again should be in double figures by now. 10 possessions for Butler.
Colbert followed him out there, and then when he saw that he was going to get there, Pratt went with him, and then he peels off before the ball even arrives as his direct opponent. He's now 50 metres down the line.
There's Selwood. Chips towards centre half court. Coming back with wonderful courage, nevertheless, was Colbert. It's one thing to be there. It's another to go after it like that. Colbert pops it across. Pachoni from half back. Driving kick towards half forward Thompson. How will it bounce? Right to his midriff. Did well. So did the man on him. Hunter stifled the ball. It comes to Braun. Juggled by Butler. Feeds it back to Braun. Goes out wide to Hunter. Hunter, the defensive side of the wing. A little indecisive. Braun runs on. Sits for him obligingly. Right half forward. Penetrating kick. Up in front was Cox. Couldn't complete the mark. Watt with dash. Gets a hand pass away. Colbert untidy. At the feet of Makepeace. Got it to Ferrito. Ferrito comes across the ground. Simpson, that's better. He's been unsure. Most unlike him so far in this game.
They were composed when they came in under real heat then.
Archer, the two-time All-Australian, finds himself inside the centre square.
Looking for a lead now.
He's got a lot of space on offer on this half-forward flank straight down the line. That's where he'll put it and allow them to run to it.
Archer, pull the play on. Chick gets across and takes it to the boundary line. Tony Jones, boundary side.
Well, Eddie, a star-studded bench with West Coast, that's for sure. Judd, Cousins and Weirpunda. Apologies to Hansen.
Well, he's a rising star, no doubt about it. Michael Braun has had the most disposal of any player in red time this season. 120 in red time. He's already had 4 tonight. Sainsbury gets it out. This is important play now for the Kangaroos. Harvey turns it over. Great play, great tackle. There's Braun again, the red time specialist. Kicks it inside 50. It's all Kangaroos, but they muck it up. They've mucked it up. Cox gets it out. Chipper Atkins from 50 gets a kick smothered play on. Oh, it's a comedy of mistakes at the moment. Staker dives in over the top of it. Does it well.
Back here.
Free kick up the ball.
Glenn's kick. Mark's here. Quickly, try out, please.
Archer gets the free kick. Brings it out to Colbert on defensive 40. Draws the player. Pratt has a bounce. Looks up, not much on. He kicks it. Simpson will have to contest here. Does it well. Does it magnificently. Adam Simpson. Skill and courage combining there to take the mark. 60 metres out from goal. Ferrito just sneaks up. Now he goes to the pocket. It was an ordinary kick. It was a great lead from Thompson. Now Thompson's got another go. Can he kick it? Well, he wobbled it forward and it's through for a point.
Come on, the Clint Eastwood rule then for Tom A from there.
Yeah, exactly. Dermot, a man's
to know his limitations.
Watch it again there, Derm. If that were golf, some mug would sing out, "Get in the goal."
But you've got to let the ball actually get away from your boot before it hits the ground. You don't kick it into the ground 1 metre in front.
No.
I think he'd like that again.
I think he'd like that mark he took in front of the goals. He'd like that one again.
Oh, yeah. Good grab.
Bukowski up the back pocket then, Banfield. Shy of half back.
That's it, Corey, that's it.
The only survivor of the 94 Premiership team, Drew Banfield.
I think he's a former #1 draft as well, Drew.
He was.
Banfield.
There's Weirpunda, another #1 draft pick. Goes out wide. Can we do it again? No. Glass. Pretty high, though. Gets a hand pass away. Braun. Butler.
You pick 11, there's 2 ones.
Back is taken by Fletcher. Some pretty good pedigrees out there, for sure. Kerr. He's got it midway between the lines. He was involved in the swap that took McPhee to Essendon. I think the ball close to the boundary line. Stays in. Simpson. Colbert. Over the top, Rawlings. Comes back towards Harris, run down by Fletcher. Clock continues to run. Colbert's got it close to the boundary. Look away, handball back to Simpson.
Inside 20 seconds as Simpson just wobbles it out. Touched over the line, out on the full load. Free kick to the West Coast Eagles. No, they're going to pull it back and give a free kick to the Kangaroos.
No, it was in the back as he went for it. Just spoiled him with a nudge in the back. You got the feeling that Lee Colbert, for every second of his last bit of play, knew what he was doing. Casually went to it, so the man drew closer to him.
Jones
casually dished off.
Kicks it. Last roll of the dice for the Kangaroos for the quarter. Simpson got a hand on the ball, then was almost tripped. Got the handball going. Ferrito inside. Harding, 4 seconds on the clock, and Harding misses from point-blank range.
That's what he gets paid for.
And that would have been nice icing for the Kangaroo cake. As it is, they lead by 2 points, the Kangaroos, at quarter time. Up goes the bench, out comes the coach, and alongside them will be Gary Lyon out at the huddle at quarter time with the Kangaroos. We'll get his report when we return on Friday Night Football. The Kangaroos 3-4-22, West Coast 3-2-20. It's the Kangas by 2 points. Friday Night Football.
This break is brought to you by Connect, the home loan matchmakers. We can't help your love life, but we can make your home loan the perfect match.
Good evening. Isolated showers in the west and south, contracting to the south and east tomorrow with some early frost. A top of 10 degrees for Hobart and Strawn, Launceston 11, Burnie, Devonport, St Helens and Swansea 12. Isolated showers in the east, south and later in the west on Sunday. Scattered showers in the west and far south Monday, easing. Good night.
odds, your ticket to Dream could win you $3 million in this Saturday's Tats Lotto draw. That's 3 million Tats Lotto dollars, but only if you have your ticket. So grab yours now.
God, look at Chris. So off his face. I didn't know he'd get so into dope. Yeah, he's been smoking more and more. Yes. Tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know what happened. She was just suddenly there. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I didn't see her.
I didn't know I could mess his head up that much.
She's not doing too well. I'm surprised with her. It's like I don't know her anymore. She's really changed.
Get it to Dan!
Not again! Wake up!
I don't know what's wrong with him these days.
Marijuana. You don't know what it'll do to you. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
These are the rules of the game. Registration's close soon, so contact the stadium on 62446 888 to enter your team. Eastern Shore Indoor Sports, where action speaks louder than words.
We were exposed to radioactive energy. We're the only ones who can stop it.
Fantastic Four.
Look, all light milk is pretty much the same. You drink it because you're a health-conscious, politically correct, sensitive, new age person, and not because you feel guilty about the bread, camembert, deep-fried cabana balls and 18 Tim Tams you ate last night. And even your boyfriend, partner, husband seems to be into it now. And so what if it has a pedometer or a recipe or the chance to win 2 weeks on Who Gives a Rat's Island? The fact is, you want your light milk, you love your light milk, you need that yellow carton, and sooner or later you are going to buy some more of that all-important, life-saving, guilt-free milk. So buy the one that tastes better.
Remember David and Margaret, the tax specialists? Well, they've just finished with their clients. To see how they can help you get the best tax refund possible, call 132325. H&R Block, the best people in tax. That's our claim.
This month at 9/11, you can reserve a winter's break and win a holiday of your choice to the value of $2,500 plus $500 spending money. To enter, just buy any bottle of Jacob's Creek wine.
9/11, your bottle shop.
You're not like other daddies.
Sunday, for the first time,
Nothing's quieter than Lucy going home with me.
Academy Award winner Sean Penn, Michelle Pfeiffer,
I've never lost at anything.
and Dakota Fanning.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
I've got it!
Defending a love
Lucy belongs with me.
that lasts forever.
All you need is love.
I Am Sam. Premieres 8:30 Sunday on WIN. Look who's back in Charlie's life.
A lot has changed.
Whatever, what are you doing for dinner?
Big surprises in a brand new 2.5 Man Tuesday.
Quarter time, Kangaroos lead by 2 points. In amongst their huddle tonight, Gary Lyon joins us. Gary, what's going on down there amongst the Kangas?
Oh, look, they're pretty happy, Eddie, to be honest. So much planning goes into this stuff that it's about knowing where to go at any given time. They've got to recognise which players are free, which West Coast Eagles players are playing where. I mean, there's a lot of information they have to process, but I think their planning going in was to try and really close them up on this ground, a smaller ground, deny them some space, try and free up the right players in their back half. Archer, if they can manage it, Colbert, if they can manage it as well. But they're pretty happy. I think they're pretty happy to go in front in that with the 1 point lead. Really want to isolate Nathan Thompson. Think that he's a big opportunity to kick a bag if they can give him one out opportunity. But less emphasis on mistakes than you would have thought in that box. I mean, there were some horrible ones, but no focusing on that. Far more inclined to concentrate on positives and, dare I say it, the process.
Can I just ask Sam Butler? He's got 10 possessions, 4 inside 50, starting in the back half of the ground. What's their thinking on him?
I think he was Archer's man for the initial part
Corresponding
of
at the
that.
other end,
and,
yeah.
they're pretty happy to have Archer in that back half. A bit of move, I'll get caught up in it. But if they can keep him free, make sure they clog up the space, I think Dean's pretty happy. Dino, you take a 1-point lead?
Yeah, look, some of our indicators were spot on. So, look, 2-point win. If we win each quarter by 2 points, we win the game.
Good on you, mate. Big up.
And Gary, just before you go, mate, what was the thought about Nathan Thompson not getting that mark?
Well, again, surprisingly, Eddie, as I said, no focus on the negatives. I mean, there was a raised eyebrow. One or two of the others went off, but it was much more about Dean Lady getting on with the next phase in the play. So, just a lot of information to process.
Good on you, Gary. We'll talk to you more at half-time, mate. Get up there. There's somebody processing all the information as well, Grant Thomas, alongside Bundy Rendell, the assistant coach down there at the Kangaroos. Dennis Committee, we'll get to Tony Jones in a few moments' time as we start this second quarter with the Kangaroos in front by 2 points.
Friday night football, away we go then. Well done by Cox decisively. Down to Fletcher inside the forward 50. Pratt. Could have been taken high by Atkins. Nikoski smothered off the boot by Brown. Nikoski goes again, charging through his Colbert. Well played. Gets it to his boot. Floats it out towards the wing. Bounce will be important here. Harvey no chance on the ball. Wirapunda, third man in the queue, goes to half forward. Nikoski set away his left boot. Dangerous in this situation. Long, high, and good.
He is a bomb merchant, this boy. He can really kick the cover off it. Winds up a bit in his kicking action, but I tell you what, when the leather of the boot strikes the leather of the footy, does it stay kick for young Nikoski. Tries to clear here, just doesn't get enough grip on it here. Wirapunda, he's just tending to run by himself for these opening few seconds. 2 steps sideways and gives it a launch. Yeah, that stayed kicked. Stayed kicked. I'll try to get out for you, Dennis.
Thought Pratt was a bit stiff not to get a free.
Good on me.
But anyway, he didn't. Cox goes up, second decisive tap of the quarter was sharked though by Grant, who got it onto Rawlings. There's another in the back, this time it was paid. Ironic cheers coming from the Kangaroos as Hale gets one, 60 metres out from goal. He chips it wide to his skipper, who's got to be careful. Blindsided, Butler. The Butler did it. It comes out to Archer though. They get a second go, the Kangaroos, on the hop. Goes to Harvey, no luck there. Jard, crunch, bang, good play. It's tough out there tonight. Not much room for the midfield of the West Coast Eagles so far. Dermot, we'll get your thoughts on that in a few moments' time as Atkins receives at half forward.
Yeah, they're just trying to choke him down a bit, wait on this forward thrust.
Big kick forward, 1-on-1. Now, how will he pay that? He has paid it against Lynch for a throw. That is throwing his man, and Brown will take the free kick. Lynch kicks it out to Pratt, defensive 40.
Well, that's different to the Thompson one because he didn't have right position, Lynch, so he throws Brown out of the way.
Makepeace at half-back flank. Good kick up the wing. Jones for the Kangaroos. Marks it on centre wing. Now the lead comes from Harvey out in front. On the bootlaces, tough one to mark. He was worried out of it in the end by Wirapunda, did it well. Now the Eagles can set sail. Judd's got it at half-back, runs his measure and takes them on and takes them right on. Found an extra 10 metres and puts it out in front of Hansen. Runs onto it nicely, does the big turn. There's Eagles on here. That is a magnificent kick. That was a sensational kick, and that man Butler has got it again. But Dermot, there was no fluke with Hansen. He looked up, saw him and hit him lace out.
Well, that's the motive of a centre-half forward should be kick it to the full forward, kick a goal, or make sure that after your possession, the next person is kicking at goal themselves.
Judd made that an 80-metre play by running his measure. The kick was fantastic, right out in front of Hansen. Hansen's kick was beautiful. This is the 13th possession for Sam Butler.
This is Glenn Archer's opponent. As soon as the ball's bounced, they both run to their respective back lines and try and pick each other up on the way through.
He's kicked 2 career goals. He has now got 3 goals for the season, 4 for his career.
Don't wait! With Toyota's special editions, Hilux 4x2 cab chassis Workmate and V6 both come with free tray and free air, saving over $3,500. Oh, what a feeling! Toyota!
These are the rules of the game. Registrations close soon, so contact the stadium on 62446888 to enter your team. Eastern Shore Indoor Sports, where action speaks louder than words.
So that time Butler got the service. Quite outstanding, lovely kick. The former Central District Bulldog is having a blinder. There's Simpson out of the middle. Was knocked down by Petrie. Thompson, was he held? Yes, he was. He's going to get the free kick 25 metres out. And the crowd enjoyed that one.
I saw it on that.
Yeah, watch the left arm get dragged down. He almost disguised it well enough, and Thompson threw it back without overacting. You overact it, the umpires say no. Don't be a smarty pants. Make sure I said pants, Dennis. Thank you.
35 goals for the season, Nathan Thompson. Prior to tonight, he'd kicked 20-14 in the last 5 games, so getting plenty of it. Right behind him. He's got 3. Well done by the Kangaroos. Quick reply.
With a great deal of interest, the last ruck tap out, there's the free kick against Hunter, who they probably think is the pace to go out with Thompson. Thompson's not overly quick, but for a bloke his size, he is quick, and added with that volume, he's hard to defend from behind. Petrie put the right hand up, which blocked Cox's tap arm, and then he swung through his other hand and tapped the ball with that. And then Petrie in the last tap out put his leading arm up to block Cox's tap out arm, and then he came in with the other hand to try and swat the ball away, and succeeded 2 bounces ago. He'll try that tactic again.
Which was the classic Simon Madden way of rucking. Didn't have a chance with the umpire, Nicholas Smith again, not being able to get it up straight. Butler. The Butler's doing it tonight, Dennis, isn't he?
Absolutely, everywhere.
Lynch gets a bad bounce. Brown did it well to Rawlings, and Brown kept going, backed himself in. Now he's got it off. The kick comes in from Harvey, and Thompson's got it again.
He's a show from here this distance. Not a short kick.
Sav's got Staker 1 out in the square, but Thompson's going to back himself in. He's kicked the last 3 goals for the Kangaroos, and Lynch just couldn't get any traction. This is a good running play here.
Isn't it a stiff game, though? I mean, Lynch made the play, and he just got a horrid bounce. He did everything right, and Kangaroos have benefited and shot on goal and shoes.
Thompson backs himself in. Has he got the distance? Not quite. Cox did the right thing for a ruckman, got back on the line, and it's touched through for a behind. Thompson has 3 goals, 2 for the evening. So the margin, 3 points. Gary Lyon in amongst it there with the Kangaroos. Brain trust, another slip, another slip. Simpson gets it out. Harding around the body, touch play on.
Baker does that to Braun. He's in the back pocket, the man who slipped initially. He was the target for the short pass coming in. Eagles, though, by 3. A real test of wills, this one. A tug of war at the moment. Out of defence, Braun up towards the wing, slapped away by Watt, rove by Harvey. Into the path of Simpson, gets it up quickly, pulls it back towards the middle. Banfield, though, uncontested. Sets it wide. Into the path of Hunter. Hunter just short of the wing. Running to space is Stenglein, coming up for his 5th possession. Very good last week. Wide-eyed, looking down towards half-forward. Kicks just inside the 50. They're outnumbered down there. The West Coast Eagles. Brown played it well to Pratt. Now Colbert coming to beat his Judd. Did well, Colbert. Knows no other way. Rawlings, Stevens, an involuntary kick if you don't mind. Judd back on the football. And to get back so quickly. Taken by Wirrapunda. Interesting one for Lynch. Now he's got it. Runs forward of the wing. Centres the ball. What a wonderful kick over a distance. And Cousins, rarely sighted, has it just outside the 50. Nobody back for the West Coast Eagles. Nobody in the square.
Just his 4th touch coming up, Dennis.
Michael Ferrito has had the job on Ben Cousins.
The umpire has decided he's having a shot. Round up. Cousins to the square. Pratt tried to force it through it. Fell forward, though. Not his intention. Taken by Fletcher. Claimed by Archer. Jarred out of there to Harding. Feigns a hand pass. Now he's away. 1 bounce. Archer's the back. Gets away. Runs to left half back. Kicks it up towards the wing. This will be interesting. Stenglein took a very good mark. It's going to be taken off him.
He milked that. Well, that was fortunate. That's one for... Oh, look, he got the high hand,
Left arm.
He made sure the umpire knew all about it.
Good play by Grant, though. He put himself into the contest. He was gone.
Well, he made sure that Stengline had to do something to beat him for the ball.
Umpire calls a play on. Ooh, just as Big Sav marks for his first touch.
Look, there's a win here for the Kangaroos already. The Eagles are playing Staker in front of Thompson. So they've got a win here.
Sav went for the short pass, kicked it in the man on the mark. He'll get it back here. Now he's within range.
Again.
Good smother. Telegraphed that one. Everyone knew he was going to have a long bomb. Ball sits back for Petrie. Barks, Archer goes for the Shepherd. Petrie looping handball over the top. Plenty of Kangaroos. Chance now for Hale. Takes the mark from Stevens' kick. Hale looks up. Brown has drifted down unattended. He'll get some contact now. Good play from Fletcher from behind. Didn't give away the free kick. Grant knocks it out the back. Rawlings runs for the ball. Atkins for the Eagles. Just kept his footing. Has a bounce. Flicks it backwards. Fletcher. They're mucking around a bit here. Atkins now finds a bit of space. Handballs it inside. Staker in the centre of the Telstra Dome. Kicks it into the forward 50. Out comes Matera.
Good kick.
Great pace. Beautiful kick. And Philip Matera pulls the socks up, gives the ankle a bit of a shake, and will line up from just outside 50. Dennis, from here?
I think so, Ed.
With this, when the ball was coming in, though, when they looked up the West Coast Eagles, Matera's the only one in the goal square. There was also 2 Kangaroos players by themselves zoned off. It's the only place he could go to receive the footy. He went there and the kick was perfect.
He's right on the 50 as he kicks it. Good-looking effort. Splits the middle. His second. He's an unlikely hero, but if you were picking a team for the ages for the West Coast Eagles so far in their history, you would have to be there alongside Peter Sumich in that forward pocket. There's Jones.
Hit then, the double hit, the 2 arms working.
Miscues completely, whereupon they camped under it, got there in time, he's taken the mark.
Just a bit untidy, the Kangaroos tonight, Dermot, aren't they? A couple of times now, just going forward.
Yeah, they just get a little bit... I mean, you saw the opening quarter with Boomer Harvey's left foot shank, and then that one again, which should have been hit better.
Banfield runs off half-back. Hansen, what a good mark. Low and hard that ball, but Hansen controlled it. Brilliant one grab. Players not trusting the bounce. Colbert, after Petrie missed it, slaps it out wide. Ferrito too slow. Philip Matera did brilliantly. Atkins over the top. This is Chick. 45 metres out. Will it run on? Reaching around. There's Brown. Reach got a boot to it. Eagles get their 7th goal. His second.
Well, you just about pay this goal down to time in the gym, physical presence, ability to stand up under pressure. Now let's have a look. Chick knows where the goals are, and it's just about rolled through. He's held Brown off, keeps it work. Yeah, one hand to fend off. 2 big tree trunk legs to stand up while being pushed around, and the other hand just to control the footy to his advantage. Little dinky touch in.
So, months in the gym, this is where it pays off. That's a bench press. Oh, off you go. Yeah. Brown's out of the way. Toe poke. And big Lynch.
He is no small boy, Brown, either.
Oh, no.
He's a big lump of a kid.
Eagles have kicked 4 goals to 1 now, and suddenly the margin is out to 15 points. This is vital for the Kangaroos to get the next goal. Sainsbury got a chance. He had a double grab at it. He's got a bit of space. Inside to Harris. That's what I'm saying about untidy. The disposals just haven't been close enough to beat a side like the West Coast Eagles at times tonight, and as a result, now the Eagles are starting to put the grip on the Kangaroos.
We're going to shut them down now because, as you say, they're getting a little untidy, and they've kept the pressure on right from the word go.
Okay, Whip Hunters put it out in the full, so the chance now for the Kangaroos, and must get the next goal.
And the Petrie, I've just watched it the last 3 times now. He leads with his right arm and tries to slap at the intended hit out by Cox, and then he swings his left arm through for the tap out.
Thompson's the man. He's come off the long run here. Couldn't quite get to the contest in the end. Sainsbury handballs it out wide. Grant on his wrong side. Jones couldn't pick it up.
Good tackle.
Great tackle there. Dragged him off the ball. Now Harris goes in. Tries to get it out. This is good, strong play. Staker for the West Coast Eagles. Flicks it over the top to Kerr, and away they go. They're just starting to show a bit too much poise, the Eagles, as Kerr kicks to centre half forward over the head of Chick. Punched away by Ferrito. Simpson front and square. Grab it out the ball. Take the free kick.
Holding, didn't have it. Give it to him. Give it to Simpson.
Never secured the ball.
Simpson from half-back then. Saw the free. Comes to Pratt. Chip up towards the wing. It's 2-on-1 here for the Roos. Harvey uses the extra man. Goes to Harris. Back to Harvey. Breaking towards the 50. Finds himself about 60 metres out. Beautiful kick.
Good decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rock has got it about 40 metres out. Slight angle. In fact, you'll kick from right on the 50.
Good decision there. He was going a goal. He saw Thompson had a lead to the pocket. He's ignored that now. Looks out. And Severio Rocker starts his lead from about 35, 40 metres out from goal. And he knows that even if he marks it 50 metres out, he's probably going to sail it through half height. So Rocker has kicked the most goals of any player from outside 50 metres in 2005. In fact, this year he's got 10 goals, 6 from outside 50. So it's a fair show.
22 goals for the season, and not his best effort. Got the distance is about all we can say. His best effort against the West Coast Eagles, 6 twice, once for Collingwood and once for the Kangaroos. There's Dean Laidley, 52 games with the West Coast Eagles, 99 with North. 6 State of Origin games for WA. Cox has it. Here's Judd. The young Victorian pulls it back. The young South Australian has it now. Butler had it for a lot of the night. Goes out wide. Stenglein. Banfield on the burst. Runs beyond the wing. Probing kick to half forward. Oh, Chick. Reaching over the top. Terrific effort.
Fantastic mark there.
Burrito's been on Chick for the last 10 minutes or so. He did start off on Cousins, but ended up on the back flank on Chick.
This could hurt the Kangaroos, this one going forward, having missed the set shot at the other end. Was it a mark? No, said the umpire. And you wouldn't want to be in the bottom of that pack.
He was trying.
Trying to get it out.
Look at this, good running from Chick.
Well, he's a bloke who's run a 49 flat for 400 metres. He's a good power athlete.
Good play by Simpson, got it out, but not too far. Kerr.
It's so obvious. The West Coast Eagles sit one of 3 players, 5 to 10 metres, defensive side of every pack, ball down, throw in, bounce up, whatever you want to call it. And they are Kerr, Braun or Fletcher. And then you saw Fletcher on that, Kerr, and he should have done better with that.
Yeah, just didn't quite get the contact, did he, do?
No, just hit it. You only need to hit it 2 or 3 centimetres out of whack and she's gone.
Good play by Watt. Chased up his own ball. Touch play on, you heard it. Colbert did it nicely. Turned his man Staker inside out. Wobbles it forward. Out comes Thompson. Good punch on the plate. Umpire's given a free kick.
He's got Glass worried. And look, if you blew the whistle right now, you would seriously, on the season, Darren Glass has got genuine claims to full back in the All-Australian team.
Oh, hang on. Hale's just snuck forward here. Frees this quarter, 6 to the Kangaroos. Eagles yet to record one. And Hale has got it. As you can see, will kick from just inside the 50. He's kicked 10 goals, 1 this year for a career of 14 goals, 3. So when he gets within range, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's a skillful big fella, this kid.
Originally from Queensland.
The yellow drained out of his
would have gone to the
cheek,
would have gone to the Brisbane Lions had there not been a rule change. 7-1 from set shots this year. There he is.
Beautiful.
Hale gets the goal that the Kangaroos badly needed.
Approaching half-time, Eagles lead it by 8 after they trailed by 2 at quarter time. Again, that bounce to the left from umpire Schmidt. Hale won it down. Well done by Watson. Got it on the up. Opportunity now for Grant as he kicks it inside the forward 50. Offhand, Harding working behind. Hits it out of midair. 2 goals and 30 seconds for the Kangaroos. Harding gets his first.
Gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch.
Yes?
5 cougars, thanks.
Cougar, now in dark rum and cola.
Hard going for the Kangaroos. Suddenly 2 in a minute, and the first time for the night they've put consecutive goals on the board. It's a 2-point ball game. Eagles haven't scored a goal for 7.5 minutes. In the last 2 minutes dominated by the Kangaroos. Off the pack, it's picked up by Cousins. Handball's inside. Kerr lines up, runs inside the 50, goes for the banana. It's going to get to the goal square. Good play by Cox, got a hand on the ball. Ferrito dives in on top of it. Chick kept it in play, but it's going to end up with Harris. Harris looks up, he's got teammates on. Simpson from behind, flew, couldn't quite hold it. Did enough though, got the handball going to Harris. Harris with the handball out to Watson, all on his own. Watson looks up, decides to kick up the line. Doesn't get onto it though, kicked it with his knee. Over the line and out of bounds. And we'll have a thrown at half-forward flank for the Kangaroos.
There's Brady Rawlings and Chris Judd. Juddy's had 2 kicks, 6 handballs. Rawlings, rebound 50. Judd 2. So you could say that Judd's probably playing further in his own back half than forward to the centre. But that cutting piece of play off the near half-forward flank.
Jones, a big swing, missed it. Judd, did he have the football? No whistle. He certainly got attention.
Oof. That's stiff, that.
I'll say.
Let him go! Let him go!
Yes.
Let him go!
How's he going to get that room?
Rawlings has taken the kick. 1 of 3 could have. He goes long down towards full forward. Glass hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Showed courage to dive on it. Well played. Nikoski. Things open up for the West Coast Eagles now. Seaby. Young half back. This surface is treacherous. Here's Kerr. You can tell the way they run some players. They just don't trust it. When he comes to Lynch. I know it's politically incorrect to say that, but you've seen footy. You can just see the way they cover the ground, some of these players. There's an element of distrust, and the mark is taken from the Lynch kick by that man again. The littlest in that pack, Philip Matera.
He moved on Makepeace. Look how far he is in front now. Look at the boundary line behind him. You know he hasn't run 50 metres to get in front. That's 2 or 3 steps to get that type of lead. Now, Makepeace is a reactive backman when on a forward. He is very creative and constructive when he has the footy, but against the goal sneak, he's going to be hurt. Oh, he's pulled it.
Well, he's missed.
That's a let-off.
Heck of a jump. Terrible kick.
But he knew the capabilities of his teammate then. He saw that that ball was carrying the players in front. And Makepeace wasn't able to pick up the ball in flight as quickly.
Kicked the most goals of any player in the last month. 18 goals, 2 tonight already, and 16-8 against the Kangaroos in the last 4 games. So he likes playing against them, and that would have been 3 for him, but now he's got 2-1. And a let-off for the Kangaroos, who have had 7 free kicks to the West Coast, 0 in this term. Makepeace runs and kicks up towards half-forward. Good play by Jones. Almost got the ball. Harding dragged off it. You're dropping the ball or give it a drop kick out towards Sainsbury. Nikoski for the West Coast Eagles. Up the line with the left boot, sits a long time. Grant takes it to the boundary line. Good play. Over the line, out of bounds, throw in. Kangaroos fans up on their toes. They're happy. It's been a good comeback because at one stage the Eagles have got out to a 15-point lead and looked like they're about to take the game apart. With a foot back with the last 2 goals, the Kangaroos. Throw in. Hale, who, as I was saying earlier, was zoned to the Brisbane Lions until the zone was taken away.
Changed.
Cousins. Staker. Over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. Gary Lyon, as you can see, on the right-hand side, second row behind Tim Harrington in the box. We'll talk to him at half-time.
Just see that Staker's gone forward again. If Petrie was able to play up forward, I think they'd really stretch the Eagles' defence.
Cousins across the body, off hands, working behind Staker. There's a whistle, and it's coming back. It's going to be an Eagles free.
First for the quarter, Dennis.
High tackle in the marking contest over the head.
Yep, that's there.
Is Gary allowed to help in the box? Can he offer suggestions there?
He can.
Ask him.
Yeah,
Does that put them over the coach's cap?
Well,
not as many as you like.
A free kick. Generally, the rule in the coach's box, if you're a guest, is no speakies.
Okay. Don't even breathe.
Forget about it. Daniel Chick.
But it is Gary Lyon.
3 points the difference. Eagles lead. Chick to extend that lead. That's a punishing kick. It's a beauty. His first.
So a good answer there for the West Coast Eagles through Daniel Chick in his 200th game, a booming 51-metre free kick. Back out to 9 points. So it's a big last 3 minutes of this quarter. Harvey gets the kick inside 50. Thompson's done well, used his body. Staker underneath it. Chance now for Weir Punda. The handball came out from Jones. Look at that, away they go. Cousins now starting to get busy. Hanson leads up, that's ignored. Needs the next line to come at him. Cox has got loose out on one flank. He's run past that though. Now the kick goes into the forward 50. Matera again. Oh, Makepeace went up a mile. Seaby underneath the pack, dives in on top. Lynch over the top of the ball. Now he's in trouble. Gone.
You're hanging it up here. You're getting tackled.
And that'll be 50. No. A wry smile from Brown. And look at this. Very hard to get that out, isn't it? Yes. You never like a rule that punishes the person making the play. But Colbert's got it in the back pocket. Not much distance, a high up and under. Schoolyard marking contest there, and a free kick against Petrie for going for the big fly. So Cox will take it at half-forward flank with 2 minutes left on the clock.
Just go back,
And by his standards tonight, he's been quiet. Here it is again. Well, one of those ugly packs. A fair bit goes on in there. Cox, forward of the wing, chips it to half forward, taken by Nikoski. Wants to beat the man and does. Runs inside the 50. He can kick it a long way. We've already seen that. This one off target. And it's pushed across the line there by Thompson. Yes, I heard you, Dan.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
Totally deliberate.
Boundary throw in. Alongside the behind post.
Well, we've got Lee Harding. He's the closest to goal with all that pace. We've got Pagan's Paddock going here.
Archer heads for the boundary line. Gets it across again.
And he's
once more.
And he's no longer at the club, Dennis. But he's left the...
his legacy, dude.
Yes, there it is. Lee Harding is the closest to goal at the other end, and he would be 60 metres from goal.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah.
Behind the pack, Cox. Over the football. Used to do that at school. Eventually, Brawlings moves at about 15 metres. It is coming back. Braun will send it back in. He's got it 60 metres out. Good pressure initially from Sainsbury. Long kick, though, from Braun towards the kick-off line. Archer came back, hands to it, didn't complete the mark. Trying to go through was Brown. Seaby in the opposite direction. Matera over the top. He's claiming it. Petrie's at the base of it. The umpire says, I will bounce it. 15 metres out directly in front. It's a good game of footy. Uncompromising stuff. Always the case when that man is the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah, Drew Petrie didn't have another effort in him then.
Just over a minute left in the quarter. Danger period here for the Kangaroos. Another bounce, and umpire Schmidt, he's got the red jumper on tonight, and he's going to the left all night. Obviously joined the Communist Party. He is extreme left tonight.
Yes.
See if we can get one up straight here.
Cox is one of the highly rated goal assist players in the comp, and this is where he does it. A direct tap out which results in a shot on goal. So
that wasn't too bad.
No one gets a touch on it.
Colbert kicks to the centre of the ground. Punched away. Good play there by Watson.
On the ball.
Great tackle. Stenglein on Grant. They're having a battle.
Just take the kick, Tyson.
He ripped that out of Stenglein's arms then.
Well, he gives the handball off now to Braun, the red time specialist. Well, we're certainly into red time. Last 30 seconds of the half. Makepeace did well, did very well, did sensationally well, Troy Makepeace. Now he runs too far. Oh, damn, what's a man's got to know?
Yeah, limitations.
He does.
Straight back, Mick.
But he did everything right.
He looked up in his defence. There was nothing to kick it to, but he should have kicked it nevertheless. Because with 15 seconds, it's now in the hot spot for the Eagles. Archer got a hand on the ball. It is still danger. Staker gets it out. The dangerous material lurking. 8 seconds. Brown says, that'll do me.
Yeah,
we'll take that one. And Braun has had 8 of his 10 disposals tonight in time on.
Yeah, look, he's come off the ground fairly early on in this game. He was getting a little bit of a touch-up by Stevens on his wing. Kerr went to that wing out of the centre and became quite dominant. And he's come back on now with a lesser matchup and starting to find the footy.
Makepeace, long kick outside the defensive 50, releases Harvey. Time will beat them. Watt's got it. Half-time on Friday Night Football. Interesting affair. The Kangaroos led by 2 points at quarter time. The West Coast Eagles responding as they do so well this season, coming in with a record of 13-1. No coincidence. They kick back and they lead by 10 points at half-time as we go down to the coach's box and Gary Lyon.
Thanks, Dennis. Just outside, in actual fact. A pretty tense last few minutes. I think the general consensus was that they're playing a bit deep. As we said earlier in the game, they wanted to squeeze West Coast up in their forward line, but they're probably a kick and a half away and giving the Eagles about a free shot from 55 metres out. So they just needed to push their numbers up a little bit. As I said, they're really happy early in the piece with their forward line. Just couldn't get in there often enough. But they've all gone sprinting down to the rooms now just to reassess. I think Dean Laley's words were to try and reassess their ball movement going forward, trying to be a bit precise on occasions, perhaps just kick it into space and let their boys run onto it, but very much in the game.
Gary, what about the two-pronged attack of Rocker and Thompson? It doesn't seem like Dean's really trusting it too much, hasn't let it settle down?
No, he's not. I think obviously really much focus on Nathan Thompson. I think that's a big win for them. I think what they do try and do there is stretch West Coast a little bit. We saw that Glass had to go to Rocker, which meant that the much smaller Hunter ended up going to Thompson, and that was a matchup that they liked. I guess as time wore on, it's a little bit more difficult. But just one thing Dennis mentioned during the call, this ground is a disgrace, and I don't care who gets upset about it. I went out at quarter time, and it's not fit. These blokes can't trust their feet and can't trust their footing. But it's the same for both teams, I know, but it's not good.
All right, Gary, we'll let you get into the coach's box and we'll talk to you a little bit later in this half-time break. We will take a break now. The Kangaroos, 6-6-42, are hanging tough. The West Coast Eagles showing some ominous signs with some of their big names not having a lot of it. They'll be expected to come out and have a real crack in the second half. They lead by 10 points, 8-4-52 on Friday Night Football. This is AFL on 9.
This break is brought to you by Connect, the home loan matchmakers. We can't help your love life, but we can make your home loan the perfect match.
Good evening. A crash has cost Australian Robbie McEwen any chance of victory during Stage 6 of the Tour de France. Marcus Trescothick has helped steer England to a record-breaking one-day win over Australia, and Wallabies skipper George Gregan has missed the final training run ahead of tomorrow night's test against South Africa to attend a funeral. Good night.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer tastes even better sitting around the fire at a quiet little camping spot. Yep, that's all a man needs. Beer, mates and fire. And maybe a two-man tent. One each, I mean. You can't expect two blokes to sleep in one of those things together. It's not going to happen. Two ladies might manage, but that should be called a two-lady tent. Of course, you might persuade a bloke to squeeze inside with two ladies. Then you've got three people in a two-man tent, and that makes for far too much commotion at your quiet little camping spot. Let's keep it simple. Mates, fire, and of course the big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic.
The nationwide big brand sellout is now on at Retrovision. You'll pay less for everything electrical. Like Simpson 390 litre fridges for just $895. Fisher & Paykel 7.5 kilo top load washers only $899 with bonus towel set. And Sunbeam coffee machines below $199 and you'll get $20 cash back. You'll pay less at the nationwide big brand sellout now on at Retrovision.
Tats, your ticket to Dream could win you $3 million in this Saturday's Tats Lotto draw. That's 3 million Tats Lotto dollars, but only if you have your ticket. So grab yours now.
If you only go to one sale this year, this is it. Harvey Norman Mega Flooring Depot must clear all stock. Hurry, we're slashing prices on all flooring. Carpets, slashed. Timbers, slashed. Rugs, slashed. Vinyl, slashed. Everything in store on sale now. Rush in for never-to-be-repeated prices on flooring. That's right, everything in store on sale now. Only at Harvey Norman Mega Flooring Depot at a Harvey Norman near you. Hurry, time's running out.
Hey, Jenny, guess what, girl? I only have one chin now. Holla! Oh, and I'm in love. No, with my personal consultant. Yeah, hold up a second. If you join Jenny Craig, you get one too. They'll design a plan just for you. Your life, that's the way it works.
It's Jenny's mid-year sale. 6 weeks for just $36. Call 131 992.
Oh, and when you go into Way, you want to kiss your consultant? You can. I do. They like it. Have you called Jenny yet?
The most consistent lineup of quality programming in the country. The strongest network across a broad range of major demographics. The most trusted and engaging programming. More must-watch programming than any other network. The best locally produced product. WIN Television, Australia's leading network in 2005.
The greatest. How Lance Armstrong conquered cancer and the Tour de France.
I'll never suffer like I did then.
60 Minutes, Sunday.
Sliding down the highway when in fact we're slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. Slip sliding away. You know the nearer destination, the more you slip sliding away. Slip sliding away, slip sliding away. You know the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away.
Well, Gary Lyon has come out tonight and slammed the Telstra Dome surface, saying it was a disgrace. There you go, slip sliding away. I'm sure we'll hear more from the AFL and Ian Collins tomorrow, telling us that nothing is wrong with anything here.
Of course it's not.
It's not at all. 52 plays 42. It's the West Coast Eagles by 10 points. Whatever the situation is, a lot of people slip over on this ground. No doubt about that. There's the goal kickers. As you can see, Matera could have easily had 3 goals. Lynch with 2. And for the Kangaroos, Thompson, 3 goals, 2. And unlucky not to have had a set shot from 10 metres out. All right, let's have a look at the West Coast Eagles goals, Derm, because they haven't had it their own way tonight through the midfield.
They've taken it up to them.
For one of the few times this year.
Kangaroos have taken it up to them. They've made some pressures in the middle. Rawlings on Judd. Harris started on Kerr and did all right, but then Kerr got a bit of the footy, then moved out to the wing, and that exposed Harris's lack of pace out there on him, so he had to stay in the centre. Ferrito went around with Cousins at the start. That was a very good grab by Lynch up forward. A big towering mark in the one-on-one in the contested range. That's a sneak goal, make no mistake about it. You could have been 5'10" to kick that one coming from behind. This kid has a hoof on him. He's got a kick like a mule, Bukowski, and this is the Judd acceleration, crosses the ground, and watch the Hansen view. He's got the periscope up right now. He's seen somebody over the top, and then sticks it down Butler's throat, and he was playing on Glenn Archer, and actually Archer, for the last 10 minutes of that quarter, went back to centre half back on Ash Hansen there, and there's little Matera. I mean, he has been a star. He's been probably the prime forward of the competition over the last month, if you look at the way he's gathered the footy and kicked goals.
And great play there by Lynch on the line, just too strong. as we see the Eagles. Free kick here, a beautiful kick from outside 50 from Daniel Chick in his 200th game. Started slowly, has worked his way into it, as you saw, set the Lynch goal up and then kicked the big goal there. And the fist shows us all 4 fingers.
Yes, and from that secondary angle that we saw just then, he did get a decent whack on the side of the head.
Let's have a look at this bloke, Sam Butler, one of the unknown players, if you like, or lesser known players.
Rochester or somewhere I think he's from.
He is indeed. Originally picked 20 in the 2003 draft, and from Central Districts he's from, in South Australia, in the South Australian 2003 Teal Cup team. He's only played the 22 games of footy, 23 tonight. He's kicked 3 goals in his career coming in. He's got now 4 goals for his career, but he was very busy.
Well, you look at it and you say sometimes a win. The Kangaroos, as Gary said, they were happy with Glenn Archer being released to go into his own back line and be that cruising player to pick off the ball. Now, he was opposed, in theory, to Sam Butler, who started against him on the wing, and they both ran to their respective back lines. But Butler was arguably better value than Archer was. That man, Nathan Thompson, has been superb value for the Kangaroos indeed for the last 5 weeks. On the lead, big body. His first one was a good lead and just roll with the stomach, clutch the ball to the stomach and roll with the footy there, and another one on the lead. Just when you're 6'5.5" and you get out on the lead and you jump early and you've got spring like Nathan Thompson.
Well, this one.
Well, that's a mark. He is worked out, identified where the ball's going. Might have got a touch of jumper, but I guarantee you, Glass had more first.
He did 3 goals in a row for the Kangaroos. That would have been 4 at a time that would have given them a nice handy lead too in that first quarter. This was a good goal from outside 50 as well, or he set up the shot. And he got a free kick here, which he kicked to Hale. Kicked it to Hale, and Hale kicked the goal. So he's been very busy. What about Adam Simpson? He is obviously the captain of the Kangaroo side. He's had an interesting night. He couldn't quite work into the play and made a few uncharacteristic mistakes, but he started to come good towards the end of that second term.
It's funny because I don't think his hands have been all that clean above his head. He's had a couple of clear runs at overhead marks to being the third man up and unable to glove the ball cleanly. But just as you called it, late in the second quarter, he started to win the footy. And in fact, he didn't win clearances in the middle of the ground, but what he did do, he was in the vicinity of the bounce down, and the first little feed, watch this, goes to him. And he's the one who puts the ball to advantage there. That happened 3 times in the second quarter, and indeed, that type of mark there, I think other games, he'd have gobbled that up with a clean one touch.
He's certainly in there and fighting, and that's what you like about Adam Simpson. Now, they've got Rocker and Thompson. How do you like the way they're going
See
inside?
all on the right-hand side, the left half-forward flank, if you're looking from the centre. The right-hand side, they are all Shannon Grant's inside 50s in the first quarter. He was their go-to player forward to the centre to bring the ball in, and he was spotting up Nathan Thompson or kicking it to him as he could. Second quarter, watch them come predominantly out of the centre square or around the centre square. 3 of those are Adam Simpson gives, a tiny little give like the one we saw a second ago, or kick inside 50. He was very good at being the first clear possession winner after the centre bouncer. He's given the West Coast Eagles on-ball brigade something to think about at the centre bouncers.
The Kangaroos led by 2 points at quarter time. It's the West Coast Eagles by 10 points at half time. Gary Lyon in the coach's box. We'll find out what Dean Ladley's saying to the Kangaroos when we come back after the break. But don't forget, Gary Lyon will be back on Sunday, and boy, will he ever, because he leads the #1 Sunday footy show. There's all the boys. It's going to be a beauty too. And, well, after that, Gary's in it again. Any given Sunday with Sam Newman and James Brayshaw. All the major sporting events. A full update of what's going on at the cricket, of course, in England as well. And the boys are in there having a good time. From 1 o'clock, we'll take you down to Aurora Stadium to see Doomsboy the Hawks take on the Crows in second spot on the ladder. Live coverage right around the country. Then at 4, you've got a big one. Saints against Carlton. Now, a lot of people give Carlton a silly chance in this game from Telstra Dome. Then for our Perth viewers, you'll be seeing Fremantle and the Bulldogs from 3 o'clock local. That's 7 hours of non-stop footy action right here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. AFL on 9, you better believe it. There's still big football to come tonight, though. It's going to be an absolute beauty.
The concert event that shook the world. Now, Live 8's returns in a special encore presentation. The performances you didn't see from the world's biggest stage. Don't miss the best of the rest. A special encore presentation. Live 8, Saturday 9:20 on WIN.
If you're looking for a quality used car, we're open 24 hours a day. There's a huge range at affordable prices, not only workshop tested, but rectified. Get a great deal online 24 hours a day, no matter where you are, at djmotors.com.au.
Win your bills paid for a year. The Mercury, together with Post Bill Pay at Australia Post, is giving you the chance to win your bills paid for a year. Imagine all your bills paid for 1 year to the value of $10,000. Get your entry form in the Mercury this Saturday. Attach the daily Post Bill Pay tokens from the Mercury and the Sunday Tasmanian and send in your form. There's $10,000 to be won each week. So for your chance to win, get the Mercury this Saturday. Post Bill Pay, the fast, smart and secure way to pay your bills. Conditions apply. See entry form for details.
Rivers have the seriously warm Coldbuster canvas coat now on sale at $49.95. It's fully lined with warm fleece and padded with a highly rated cellular insulation, making it durable, warm and comfortable. At just $49.95, we challenge you to find a better quality coat anywhere. Get into a Rivers retail store while stops last.
Of course it's working, Jenny. Look at this. I've lost 16 kilos. See my teeny little waist? I'm almost invisible. Almost. You know, that's what's awesome about Jenny Craig. They've got all this new stuff. My favorite thing is chocolate cake. Yay, cake! You get what you want to eat, what you love. That's why we love this.
It's Jenny's mid-year sale. 6 weeks for just $36. Call 131 992.
I don't want to brag, but I am almost all that. Have you called Jenny yet?
Proud for Jewelers 5 days only jewellery bash on now. 50% off gold chains and bracelets, 50% off silver chains and bracelets, up to 50% off jewellery, up to 50% off everything. Hurry, Proud's jewellery bash on now.
It's like that crusty stuff you scrape off the barbecue, but it's on your teeth. My dentist said it was tartar and could lead to bigger problems. His advice? Switch to Colgate Total.
Colgate Total helps protect for 12 hours against a complete range of teeth and gum problems.
My teeth feel cleaner, smoother.
Its 12-hour protective shield reduces tartar build-up by up to 55%.
The dentist said my teeth were much cleaner. The only thing I'll be scraping now is my barbecue.
Colgate Total. Complete 12-hour protection. #1 recommended by dentists.
Monday, Millionaire is about to get a lesson in life.
Keep telling everybody.
A school teacher under the pump and in the hot seat.
Horror.
But Eddie's just met his match.
Bit of Scottish Braveheart.
When mental prowess and luck combine.
Oh, luck in it.
Sending this teacher to the top of the class. Millionaire Monday on WIN.
This telecast of the 2005 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy. Toyota. Footy. Oh, what a feeling. Cougar Bourbon. Aged 5 years and smooth. And Cascade Draft. You deserve a Cascade Draft.
Welcome back on Friday Night Football. Great game we've got here tonight too. The Kangaroos standing up strong at the moment. The Eagles just starting to look a better outfit in the latter part of that second quarter, with Chick getting the last goal to take them out to a 9-point lead. They lead by 10 at the break. Let's go down to Tony Jones, who's with Peter Sumich.
Well, Peter, it's one of those games where you just sort of can't break clear, can you?
No, we can't. And look, they've got a few numbers back and we're trying to man them up. But yeah, it's a bit of, I suppose, one-day footy, you know, at both ends.
What was the coach's main message there at half-time?
Oh, we'll just be persistent. You know, we've just got to get the ball in a little bit longer and deeper and let Quinton Lynch have a good contest, and we've got to have our crummers there.
Thompson and Rocker, it's a troublesome duo, that one, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And look, they've got a lot of space up their forward line, which we understand that, and our blokes have just got to handle that and keep persisting.
What are your blokes saying about the surface?
Oh, look, they've been all right. A lot of them have put some screw-ins. They had rubbers early, but a lot of them put screw-ins for the second half.
Well, good luck, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, then, well, we heard there from Peter Sumich. Derm, I mean, look, there's one piece of equipment that a player's got to look after. It's his boots. I mean, they can try as much as they like to wear rubbers out here. You've got to wear screw-ins. We'll come back to it because Gary's down there now with Dean Ladley. Let's go down to Gary Lyon.
All right, mate, yeah, just got away from you a little bit there in that second quarter. Just restructure up a bit.
Yeah, look, we did. We were able to get ourselves back in the game. You know, we probably missed. We're 6 goals 6. We're there 7 goals 2. We probably should have made the more of our opportunities. You know, when we're getting in there, we're actually scoring. So we probably need to get it in there a little bit more this quarter.
And not have to be so precise. Just get it in there quick.
Well, look, when you've got Thompson, you know, playing the role he has, and Hale marking it, and Sav's marked a couple but missed. Look, you know, maybe we just got to get in there a bit quicker.
Good on you, mate. Good luck.
All right, and Gary Lyon, that's his favourite tactic, kick it long. He's trying to influence. You asked if he was going to have something to say in there. That was by stealth, I think, there. They're actually subliminal coaching.
Go the spiral, so the spiral will be next.
It's 8-4, by the way. Dean Laidley, he's got a little bit further to go than 7-4 that he called there. Doom, just on the boots, though. I mean, you can't wear moulders out here. Doesn't matter.
There's 2 things you have to worry about playing league footy, and that is a mouth guard and a pair of boots. Lee Matthews, the great Lee Matthews, he used to say, you can get the club to do anything. They can wash your jumper, your shorts, your socks. The one vital piece of equipment you have to look after, and you should be responsible for yourself, forget the boot starter, is your pair of boots. You make sure you get it right, you make sure they fit you, you make sure you've worn them in right, you make sure that they're the right suppleness, and you make sure you make the right selection with them.
From the West Coast Eagles perspective, Judd and Cousins have been quiet. Will that continue? Umpire Schmidt has been bouncing predominantly right to left. Will that continue? No, it's a beauty. He's been practicing at half-time. Cousins a chance. In goes Harris. Well done. Over the top. Under pressure. Harding coughed it up. Now Braun comes away. Got it from Cox inside the forward 50. Over the ball, Watt. Now Brown. Clever to Archer under pressure, goes for the boundary line, didn't find it. Braun got a hand pass back after the kick from Fletcher. It's Archer who floats one outside the defensive 50. Fletcher punches it back in. This is for Rito. Pratt, Archer from right half back.
I knew what he's doing.
Rito's got it.
Very skillful from Archer, and a beautiful kick from Ferreira. Now they're open. Colbert can go further afield and does. Simpson has a bounce. Savrocker wants it long to the square. Now he leads forward. Good play from Simpson. Great play by Simpson. Summed it up nicely. Had all the players running left, right and centre. Held the kick. Didn't overbake it. And Harding's got it 30 metres out directly in front.
He did everything right, Ed. And you still watch this. This is the right hand, then watch the left. See the right hand grab that leading arm by Cox, and then he slaps through. And that technically is a free kick, but he's doing it well. He's done everything right here, Simpson, except leave the ball in Harding's hands, because this ball is not through.
He's fixed his career too, haven't you, Petrie?
Well, that's the rule.
Simon Madden did that for 370-odd games.
Yeah, the umpires weren't watching for
it. 7 goals, 2 from set shots this year. Harding's got it, his second of the night, and the Kangaroos get the first in the second half. We've got a game on our hands.
Gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch.
Yes?
5 cougars, thanks.
Cougar, now in dark rum and cola.
With their last 2 goals, the Kangaroos. The last before half-time and the first in the second half, and the margin a narrow one now. We're back to 4 points. Chance for Harris. Left the ball behind. Grant did well. Simpson. Harris once more, still inside the centre square. Plenty of men to choose from. Comes out wide to Pratt. Thought about the hand pass. Now elects to kick. And it's a telling kick too. Inside the 50. Going back after winning a battle of strength. Banfield takes the mark. The veteran. To Cousins, coming up to his 10th possession. He's at left half back. Very quiet early, but got going just before half-time. This is Staker. Left centre wing, goes down towards half forward. Pratt and Chick. Oh, clever by Chick. Controlled it with 4 fingers.
And Matera's got some space out wide, straight up the middle.
60 metres out, long towards full forward. Slapped away by Brown. Off the ground, Selwood. His first.
If you're thinking of air conditioning your home, make a Fujitsu fully ducted system part of your plan. It's easier than you think. Everything's hidden up in the ceiling. This is your 7-day climate control panel. Here's the outdoor unit, a Fujitsu inverter model. They're quieter and up to 30% cheaper to run. Call now for your nearest Fujitsu specialist and plan on some Fujitsu comfort. This winter, buy a Fujitsu inverter ducted system and get a free phone and $500 worth of free calls. No wonder Fujitsu is Australia's ultimate heir.
So Selwood gets the goal in the goal square. And it's back to 10 points, the margin at half-time. Goal apiece in this third quarter. Cox got the tap that time. Fletcher the handball out to Cousins, who's starting to make it happen. Up forward it goes. Thump away by Pratt. Butler in over the top. Lynch. Good play by Brown on hands and knees. And good play by Butler again to kick the ball in, throw in. Dr. Peter Larkins hasn't had much to say tonight. Pete, what have you got for us?
Eagle Brett Jones had off the ground the first 30 seconds of this quarter after straining his right knee. He's been down in the rooms and he's now back up, jogging the boundary. Looks like he's picked up again, but should get back out there. Just that incident early in the quarter this time.
Boundary throw just outside the 50. Judd. Well, he's hard to put down, but Petrie managed. Eventually, Stenblind to Cousins, 65 metres out, hooks it down towards full forward. Archer from behind, buttering up again was Judd, left the football behind, diving in there, Pratt. Here's Philip Matera, twisting, turning, wonderful kick. His third.
.145 kilowatt all-alloy quad-cam V6 engine. 6-disc CD changer. DVD satellite navigation. And sports-tuned suspension. The V6 Camry Azura. Test your reflexes.
The Eagles out to a game-high 16-point lead thanks to this man. Matera, what about that? That is as good a goal as you'll ever see from a snap from a small forward. Great play, 16 points, and Matera's now kicked 3 goals, 1 for the night, and he missed the easiest one of the lot. Umpire puts it up in the air, good bounce. Cox a magnificent tap. Cousins is starting to get going, as I said before. Good play by Harvey. Vital period here for the Kangaroos. They've got to get going. Sainsbury gets it out to Grant. Grant hoiks it up towards the half-forward flank position. Hale, well, his jumper was pulled up by a called play on. Harding around the body, wobbles it forward. Bad bounce there for Thompson. Sits nicely for Glass. Gets the handball going to Staker. Staker transfers play to the outer side. Where Punder's got it now. Looks up, not much on. Puts it up to Cox. Good play by Colbert. Had to beat 2 and did so. Then slapped it along the line. Where Punder out the full, was it? Oh, let's have another look at that one. Kangaroos fans. It's off. No, good call. That was a bump ball and a throw in at the forward 50 for the Kangaroos. Big moment here. Petrie got the tap, but it was Fletcher who got the kick for the Eagles.
As fans were standing in Spencer Street and they knew what happened. Down goes Colbert. Ball up inside the centre square. In fact, it's going to be a free kick. High tackle on Colbert, says the umpire.
Severio Rocker's the one here who actually has to stand up and be a target now. He's taken a couple of grabs, 2 possessions. Could have kicked a goal. Thompson's done his bit and will continue to keep leading. Rocker has to be the target.
Colbert, recently turned 30. Uses the ball with precision onto the chest of a dangerous man in this situation.
Byrne's got the remote control going again.
Yep. These are the ones where it really suits Red. If he kicks through it and gets left to right, he'll goal this. And it's left to right, but he's just giving it nothing on the lead. Disappointing, because he's the bloke who can just blow this wide open.
2 behinds to Sav Rocker.
Margin 15 points.
It's a bit of a miss kick, and he's still kicked at 65.
We're a punter to bring it in. He knew pretty early.
He overcommitted, didn't he, on the kick? He's such a beautiful timer of the ball.
Yeah, watch this, but he can time it, but that's a mung.
Yeah, into the spiral. Stenblind to Fletcher to Braun through midfield. Nikoski well forward. Now he feeds it back. Fletcher's run on inside the centre square. Wrong-foot's Petrie. Wrong-footed himself now. Forced to kick with his right. Goes out wide. The mark is taken by Hunter. Hunter spots a man inside the forward 50. This is Cox, who can run on. Normally has exquisite skills, and this is no exception. His first goal, what a beauty by the big man.
Well, Drew Petrie cannot chase at the moment. He just looks exceptionally tired in the centre of the ground. Cox, well, he just ran away from him. His teammates were screaming at Petrie, get to him, get to him. He's not in frame. He's a good 50, 60 metres away at that kick, just in the centre of the ground there. I would suggest that Petrie would probably go for this tap out, and they'll have to break from their plan here and get Hale onto the ball and give Petrie a rest.
So 21 points of difference now. The Eagles have kicked the last 3 goals in 5 minutes of this quarter. The midfield that have been held so well by the Kangaroos is starting to explode. Fletcher's had 5, Cousins 4 and Braun 3. And the Eagles are starting to get going. Stingline half got the tap on that one. It comes out to Sainsbury, gets the handball going inside to Grant. They must get a goal here. Pratt kicks forward, Hale's the man on the lead. He's got it. Hanging on! Well, got the free kick anyway.
That's an important free kick because the free kick is a couple of metres back from where he touched the ball on the first contest, so it's closer to goal than that. And make a bit of difference. That's it there.
Yep. Could make all the difference at 5 metres. Hale kicked a beautiful goal earlier. As we said, he's been very good from set shots this year, Hale. He's kicked 11 goals, 1 for the season, and 8-1 from set shots. Badly needed goal. This one for the Kangaroos to get back within 3 kicks. Second behind of the year comes in an inopportune time for the Kangaroos. Hale's kicked 1 goal, 1.
Ashley Hansen talking with the coach. Wirapunda, chastened by his last effort, goes in short to Fletcher. Margin is 20 points. Kangaroos need to be careful now against the top outfit in the competition, who are looking menacing. Fletcher once more. Swings it out very wide. Coming up the ground is Atkins, and he takes the mark on his chest. Had a lot of pace to get there first. Watt is quick in a straight line, but Atkins pulled away from him. Atkins at left half back, indicating he wants to stay on the line. And does, towards half forward. Chick was up to miss it. Pratt lurking behind, running out of space, found the boundary line. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis mentioned Ashley Hansen on the phone. He actually came off and asked to speak to the coach's box and then slipped completely on the concrete edging just here near the interchange bench and went completely down onto the ground and twisted his knee. So the West Coast had just asked for something to be put down so the players don't slip, but almost caused an injury off the field.
That's on the artificial turf, is it, Pete?
No, where the artificial turf finishes, Ed, and it meets the bench.
Holding the ball, and the free kick is going to the West Coast Eagles against Harvey. It'll be taken by Braun. Braun goes across the ground to Kerr, adjacent to the centre square. I mentioned before how he came to be a West Coast Eagle. In fact, he was picked up with the draft pick exchanged for Fraser Geary. There goes the kick from Wirapunda, finds Cousins.
I was thinking Ian Collins is sitting home going, oh, they can't blame me for this as well. Hansen hurting his knee. On the bench, we'll find more from Pete Larkins.
The flood's on now.
Yes.
That's the free kick.
Fletcher and 50. Oh, boy. Against Glenn Archer.
High tackle and abuse.
High tackle and abuse. Wow. Boys, I reckon this needs to become a 15-metre or a 25. Let's have a listen.
Was it really? Yeah, she's... Do it straight. Here it is here.
Well, it's a one-way conversation, that one. Umpire Schmidt gives away a 50-metre penalty, or penalises Archer for 50, and Fletcher kicks the goal. They've kicked the last 4, and now they've got the game by the throat. West Coast Eagles.
The blackcurrants in Ribena contain 4 times the vitamin C of oranges. Ribena.
Archer sits down, having given away the 50. Had a bit to say. Umpire Schmidt taking none of it. Stepping out 50. I'm happy with the 50, though, I've got to say, Ed.
You like 50 for the abuse,
I don't mind, yeah. Harvey out of the middle, down towards half forward. in front. Banfield punches away. Sliding in down there was Kerr. Hand pass comes out from Braun. Cox, the defensive side of the wing, swings it down towards half-forward, going back with courage Fletcher. Well done by Simpson coming over the top, and he knocks it out of bounds. Well, as much as I admire Glenn Archer, players should wise up. I mean, what's the point of abusing the umpire?
But you also love peace, love and mung beans too, Dan.
That was back in the 60s, Dan.
He's now auditioning to be a Balinese magistrate, I think. She's 50 metres for saying that. It's hard.
Well, just don't
We're
say
the only
anything.
code that does it. We are the only football code that does it.
The abuse either, but
well, in tennis, I mean, it's a point, isn't it? Here's Judd. Goes down towards half-forward. The mark is taken by Chet.
They're flexing the Eagles.
They're flexing, yes, they're pumping. He's inside the centre square, sets it up, high ball from behind Lynch. Well, he got his move very early off the top right, but the ball cleared everybody. This is Harvey at the back. But coming back, it's going to be Brown's ball.
He was concerned that he thought, I'm going to take mark of the year here.
Then the last 10 minutes, the Eagles, as you said, flexing the muscles. 30 disposals to 15, 3 goals to 0. All West Coast Eagles way.
Now Brown, deep in his own defensive area, decides to play on. And that's a good kick coming out. Colbert gets on the end of it. Just forward of left half back. Back to Rawlings. Now, he shuffles to midfield. Kicks down towards half forward. Good looking kick too. Thompson was interfered with. Ball runs free at the back. Grant wants his left boot. Decides to go by hand. Thompson. Well played, Thompson. Twisting, turning. More twists and turns there than a lower intestine, but he kicked it straight to a West Coast Eagle, and Staker goes out wide and finds Cousins.
And away they go now. Stingline takes it on centre wing, kicks it inside 50. Chick comes out, full-bodied attempt. Fletcher again has been very busy this quarter. It's been Fletcher's turn. Throw in at 4.50 for the West Coast Eagles. They've kicked 4. He's had 7 disposals. Let's make that 8, Fletcher, for the quarter. And we've only been going 15 minutes.
Well, you think about it, Nathan Thompson hasn't been on a definitive lead with room. They've choked his space, but they've choked the ball carriers of the Kangaroos, being Grant.
Make that 9 now for Fletcher. He's got another go at it. 9, and could he get a snap goal? Could he? Yes, yes, I think he's just must have been touched the first time through.
He touched it.
I reckon maybe it was touched in the bounce in the middle of the square rather than the last touch.
Did he go foot to it?
Oh, yeah, just there.
Oh, good call.
Makepeace, yeah.
Makepeace did well. Pratt brings the ball out. Piccioni with a new hairstyle.
Oh,
great mark, Harding. Got to get the next goal for the Kangaroos, no doubt. OK, says the umpire. Kick bounces over the line, out of bounds. Throw in, still 10 minutes, as you can see on the clock, so plenty of time for the Kangaroos to work themselves back into this game, but they need to get the next couple.
That's a luxury. Cox on the bench.
Boundary throw in. Well, they do have Seavey, emerging young player as well. An embarrassment of riches. Seavey's in front. Interesting. Stengline boots it outside the defensive 50, close to the boundary line. Watson takes it out. It'll be thrown in.
Seavey has very good hands as a tap ruckman. He's very good at palming the ball.
Just get better with exposure to the game. Dean Laidley with some problems now. It's out to 27.
Shannon Grant's the one they want the ball in the hands of here, the Kangaroos.
Hunter's kick was smothered. Piccioni, Simpson, clever handball. Not having to break stride was Rawlings, but run down by Juddy. Pushed him to the back, says the umpire.
Has he kicked in the back? Drew, how you going, mate? No.
Watch it again.
Yeah.
Well, that's the wrong call, umpire.
That's wrong.
Was there a trip?
Well, he paid a push in the back.
Yeah.
And Judd did everything humanly possible to turn him around.
No, he spun him. He's pushed the left hand into the shoulder, and with the right hand, he's twirled him. He's tried to spin him around away from the target. That's a clever tackle. And the umpire's only seen the left-hand side, left-hand push.
Gave him the twirl there.
He did. Like take your partner.
Rob Majorette. Here's Harding. Inside the 50 then. A short pass to him. This isn't the result of the free. Rawlings passed it to Harding. We're right behind the kick, and he's got the goal. He's got 3 in.
There's Benny Cousins arguing about it. Just when you think about it, though, Judd's ability to process the situation and think about it. How clever was he? Did his foot
on the backswing?
Oh, okay, you see, I'm watching the hands there.
No, but he didn't pay that. He paid a push in the back.
He paid the push because he was on the left-hand side. But how quick is his train of thought to think about spinning him as he's kicking at goal?
Well, Lee Harding kicked 4 goals last week. He's kicked the last 3 of the Kangaroos. As you can see there, just flicked his foot, but that wasn't the free kick. And by Vozzo, and have a look at Juddy saying, let's have a look at the television replay.
Yeah, and then you'll know you're wrong. Somehow the umpires don't always look up.
Back to 21 points, the difference, and a free kick out of the centre going the way of the Eagles. That is
against Rawlings.
Soul-destroying.
And the near boundary umpire called it on this side of the square. It was Rawlings and Judd out here.
Braun to CB sold into trouble. Hand passes it forward. Stenglein goes out wide. This is Braun. Braun, very high ball down towards the 50. Floating back is Kerr. Still Kerr. Gets it through. Selwood confronted. It's jarred out of there. Rawlings got a boot to it, an involuntary boot. It couldn't have finished up in better hands for the Eagles, but Philip Matera has kicked it behind.
Just a couple tonight from very close.
Couldn't believe his good fortune there. It just bounced to him off the boot of Rawlings.
3 goals to Philip Matera.
The last few bounces, the Kangaroos have loaded up with 8 backmen, and John Worsfold has decided, no, you're not going to float him backmen. He's manned them up, so he's gone in with 8 forwards, yet they've still been able to kick the majority of goals this quarter.
Glenn Archer back on the ground, finds Lee Colbert. Not much on. Oops, this is dangerous. Corey Jones knew what he was up against. The kick was a beauty out towards Shannon Grant, who marks just backward of half-forward flank.
Stevens from the goal square.
Yeah, beautiful mark. Stevens was the man running through. The Eagles had the numbers back. It comes out to Seaby at fullback. Gives the handball off to Cousins, who wants to set things up. Has Nikoski out wide. That's where he's going. It stays in the air a long time, but Nikoski's the man. Read it nicely, took the mark. Good play, good kick. Nikoski now goes up the line. That is a good kick too. Lynch, at full stretch, takes the mark.
Seaby comes off.
Quinton Lynch, 22 years of age, big lump of a man. Mongrels it forward though, and Archer gets across and takes the mark.
Comes off Lynch.
So it's 22 points the difference here. The Kangas have got to get the next goal to have any chance of kicking this game. Pratt goes long. The tall timber required here. Thompson got the front spot. Over the back it goes. Now the charge of the right brigade. Into the old Pagans paddock. Who's there? Harding ran into his own man. Was he pushed in the back? No. The umpire says play on. It spills out to Whipunda. Whipunda out to Hanson at full stretch, who marks on centre wing.
That was a beautiful kick. Covered 55 metres with pinpoint accuracy. Hanson goes looking for Hunter, knocked away by Jones.
Oh, Brown for the Kangaroos, they're working him over. Lee Brown was on Quinton Lynch, and you saw him come up the ground on the lead, and he had his kick after that mark, ran straight off. Then Hanson runs on, runs to the other side of the ground, leads up to the wing on Brown again. He's getting no rest, Lee Brown. He's being tag teamed here.
2 number 20s from behind. Number 25, Pachani coughed it up. Selwood, Simpson in trouble. Rawlings, Archer now. From half-back through midfield. Good kick. Harding, his confidence on the rise. Kicks towards half-forward to space. Coming up is Grant. How will it bounce? Awkwardly for Grant. Stenglein overran it. Trying to find it again. Socked away by Sainsbury. Towards the boundary goes Wirapunda. Kept it in. Brilliantly played. Now an opportunity for Jones to hug the boundary with the kick and run it out of bounds just in front of Archer. No, it stays in. It bounced towards Chicken effect. He played it well, knocked it across to accommodate Kerr. Kerr goes with the outside of the boot and works it on the arc of the boundary. Brilliantly stopped by Matera. Somehow got it to Selwood. He's going to get a free kick for a push in the back, Matera.
Well, he did throw it out, but obviously the push the umpire calls came before that throw. Archer's clever play.
Not sure that was a push either.
Whatever the umpire saw, he's got the chain of events right, whether he got the event right.
Yeah, well, Simpson did everything humanly possible to go to the side, I'm sure. Anyway, Matera's got the football. A lucky one at the other end, saw the Kangaroos get a goal. Can the Eagles do something similar here? This is Staker, just forward of the wing, bombs it in. Plenty of players at the drop. Two-fisting it away was Watt. Taken by Simpson to Harris. Deep in the back pocket. Swings it up towards the wing. Staker will drive it back in.
So Staker's got it. No one on the mark. So he can do what he likes here. Cox calls for it.
Yeah, he's just getting his photo taken. No one on the mark. Just deserves to stand there for a while.
I'll take my close-up, he says. Bad one at the back. Here's material for goal number 4. He does not miss these ones. And that could make it very hard for the Kangaroos. The West Coast Eagles get the goal that was required.
Don't wait! With Toyota's special editions, the 4-cylinder Camry Altis Auto is just $26,488 drive away, with air conditioning and cruise control standard. Oh, what a feeling! Toyota!
I forgot it was the day that my rallies were to stay. Ajax with baking soda, for grease and grime it's over. Baking soda's natural, you see, and it breaks down dirt and grease. Thank you all, Flip. Baking soda, Ajax spray and wipe.
Now he credits John Dorotich with a lot of his savvy. They played together at South Fremantle. John on the way down in a wonderful career. And Phillip just starting up. Cousins charging into the centre square. Harris has got it though. Simpson, Grant goes down towards half forward. Leading back in the race here is Stevens. Pursuing him Wirapunda. Great chase affected the kick. Awkward one as a result for Harding. Picked up by Nikoski. Breaks away, sends it back to the wing. Colbert comes hard. Well, he's paid the mark. He didn't think it was a mark. He wanted to play on. Staker makes the point. Struck his hand first. Certainly going on Colbert's reaction. He thought the ball had been stolen away. He was happy to hand pass it over his shoulder. And now it comes to Harris. Watch, Colbert instinctively wants to go there. He knew. Harris, the short one. Well done by Staker getting back. Got a fist on it. Cousins lays it off. Stengline. Braun. Hard to see the Kangaroos winning from here. The confidence brimming from the West Coast Eagles.
That's right. Look at him run away here. Their good players have got enough rest under the belt to keep running at top speed.
How is that for a kick? It was a centimetre perfect. Hanson's got it.
Matera's on the lead. It's chopped off. They're playing an 8-man defence here this quarter. The Kangaroos, they're just hanging on. But the Kangaroos of the West Coast Eagles have rested all their key playmakers.
Hanson sets it up. Chick's got the big fly from behind off the back. Guess who? Matera just waits. He almost marked it again. He just sits underneath the back of the pack, doesn't he, Doom?
Just watches the fly.
Have him round the ankle there.
Just watches the fly to the ball.
The opponent will get the free kick, though, and Makepeace for a grab on his legs. And there it is. The Kangaroos must get one before the three-quarter time break. You'd think they have any chance. They trail by 28 points. 3.5 minutes left. Hale has it. Oh, no, sorry, Watt has it. Kicks inside. Petrie drops an absolute put. Braun to Cox. The punishment could be swift here. It's picked up beautifully by Hanson. Hanson just dribbles it up towards Fletcher. Selwood's waiting for the handball. Fletcher went the wrong way, took them on, and is in trouble. Gone. And a free kick to the Kangaroos. Harris.
He looks tired, Petrie, doesn't he? That effort in the midfield there.
He's lost his footing again there, under pressure. Rocker's got it on centre wing. Handball's inside. Trapp gets his kick away. Big contest here. Harding went to ground. Thompson keeps his feet. Here's the charge. Off the ground. Thompson's got it! Oh. What a magnificent goal from Big Thompson. His fourth.
Well, he's given them some hope. Now, this is a 50-50 free kick. Either way, they're both tackling each other. It's probably the best decision of the night, not to make a decision on that one. And to rush it. They both virtually tackle each other. And quickest to recovery gets the boot on it. That was a good contest by Glass. Good contest by Thompson.
That man is playing good football at the present time. Nathan Thompson, a battle of strength there, and thinks his way through this. That's a fine effort.
8-man back line by Kangaroos as they set up for this bounce down, Den.
Equalling his best against the West Coast Eagles, Thompson. Round 15 for Hawthorn last season. Rawlings at the base of the pack. Quick kick towards half forward. Can they string two together? No. Up comes young Jones to take the mark on his chest. Cut from similar cloth as the coach. Stengline swings it out wide. Cox Fletcher getting plenty of it now. Back to Cox, so nimble. Kicks inside the forward 50. Hansen in front. Up he goes. Couldn't hang on. Always lurking at the back. So dangerous as Matera. Check. Misses everything. It wanders towards the boundary and goes out. Well, somebody has got to show the discipline behind that pack. Forget about the footy. Just stay down with Matera.
Yep. Peace gets drawn to the footy, doesn't he? Goes with him. And he gets sucked right into the deep of the pack. Fletcher 10 disposals. Running hot this quarter.
Cox to Matera to Adkins. Around the body he goes with the kick. This is a big one for the Eagles if he's got it. He has. Chipper Atkins kicks a big goal. And the Eagles answer. Back out to a 28-point lead.
Can we get Gary on the phone? Somebody needs to get on Matera, dude.
Well, there's somebody's on him.
Well, he's in position every time. Same spot.
He just, well, in theory, he's on him.
That's a good goal too from Chipper Atkins.
Makepeace watches the footy and goes, once the ball gets into motion and bouncing around, he goes to where he thinks the ball is going to eventually make its way to, instead of staying with his man.
Somebody needs to tell him.
He is a...
That pile of leaves and branches and grass clippings hides Philip Matera behind every pack.
He gives him a shock, Troy Makepeace, doesn't he?
Certainly does. Well, he's a playmaker, and really you don't need a playmaker on Philip Matera.
No.
Harris.
No, he's picked it up.
Claimed immediately. We'll have a bounce. 90 plays 62.
He's on him now.
He's on him now. Yeah. There's no pack near them, though.
But that's, yeah. He's on him when the ball's not there.
Which is the more evil of two evils. In goes Archer with Kerr, and we'll have a bounce. Again. Still on him.
Giving up front position. I shouldn't say that.
No, he's terrific.
He's a good player.
He's better than good. He's a terrific player. But tonight, it's just really not the matchup for him. Archer kicks it straight up in the air. You can hear the call. Clever by Petrie. Towards Jones, who traps it effectively. Well played to Harvey. Harvey goes out towards the boundary, pursued by Braun, comes back. Archer has it forward of the wing, kicks inside the 50. From behind Stenglein, loose ball taken by Rocker. Well done to Harding. Harding snaps and misses. Well, that was essential, you figure, with 42 seconds till three-quarter time.
It would have been his third for the quarter had he kicked it, and his fourth for the game. Simpson gets some much-needed rest for a big last quarter burst. The Eagles, with 40 seconds left on the clock, lead by 27 points. Cox, who had a good rest, Dermot, for in the midsection of this game.
Yeah.
Now full of running, as we said before, Petrie.
Oh, look, they've all...
his tongue hanging out.
Yeah, they've all had a good break on the bench. It's going to take a Herculean effort by the Kangaroos just to thwart anything in the last quarter. Forget about the fact of coming back. It'll be a monster effort for them.
Hunter with a touch of mullet there, Dermot. A little bit of a mud flap at the back. Archer slams it onto the boot.
I knew you'd spotted it.
Petrie goes hard.
Broady boy.
Exactly. Yeah. Getting McConaughey car.
Oh, look out.
Oh, there he is.
No, that's too
Burst through the pack. Well, it didn't matter in the end, he dropped it, but it would have been a line ball decision for the umpire.
He'd be disappointed with that, though, Harris, nonetheless. Anyway, he walked through that tackle of Harris's.
27 points the difference. Kangaroos lead by 2 points at quarter time. West Coast by 10 points at half time. And now by 27 points. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Gary Lyon to hear what they can do, the Kangaroos, to try and resurrect this game in the last quarter. But at the moment, the West Coast Eagles are going to stretch their lead at the top of the ladder. 14-6-90, they lead the Kangaroos. 9-9-63. Friday Night Football. This is AFL on 9.
World markets initially fell after the attacks on London, but rallied after the British PM's first press conference. In Australia, the stock market closed slightly weaker. News Corp and Telstra defied the downward trend, and the big banks were mixed. The ordinaries lost almost 4 points. Our dollar slipped below 74 US cents, but gained on the pound. Good night.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer tastes even better sitting around the fire at a quiet little camping spot. Yep, that's all a man needs. Beer, mates and fire. And maybe a two-man tent. One each, I mean. You can't expect two blokes to sleep in one of those things together. It's not going to happen. Two ladies might manage, but that should be called a two-lady tent. Of course, you might persuade a bloke to squeeze inside with two ladies. Then you've got three people in a two-man tent, and that makes for far too much commotion at your quiet little camping spot. Let's keep it simple. Mates, fire, and of course the big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic.
Harvey Norman's turning up the heat on winter sight and sound deals. Price smash. LG 132cm DLP widescreen rear projection TV, HD ready with bonus LG hard disk DVD recorder. Unbelievable at just $29.99. Australia's first plasma panel with high definition tuner built in. New from LG, a hot buy at $54.99. And the exclusive ambient light technology in the 127cm Philips plasma television offers the ultimate viewing pleasure. We won't be beaten on price.
With Toyota's special editions, Hilux 4x2 cab chassis Workmate and V6 both come with free tray and free air, saving over $3,500. Toyota's special editions, added value and genuine savings. Right now at your Toyota dealer.
Oh, what a feeling! Toyota! Come on, boys!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a carnival of savings at Chicken Feed.
Deluxe ironing boards with iron holder, smash the price, $14.99. Swing top rubbish bins, hot, $9.99. Storage towels are back, they're huge. Thousands of uses, bargain price, $29.99. And 50-litre glitter storage boxes, perfect for toys, $9.99.
Roll up to the carnival of savings at Chicken Feed.
Monday, Millionaire is about to get a lesson in life.
Keep telling everybody.
A school teacher under the pump and in the hot seat.
What a horror.
But Eddie's just met his match.
Bit of Scottish Braveheart.
When mental prowess and luck combine.
Oh, luck in it.
Sending this teacher to the top of the class. Millionaire Monday on WIN.
Two families, one secret.
Jesse is special.
A man obsessed.
We are in a space race, gentlemen. The power of mind. That is the energy source.
And closing in.
Jacob! I'm never gonna fly your saucer. Not ever.
Taken. Tuesday, 8:30 on WIN.
Welcome back on Friday Night Football, and at three-quarter time, the Eagles have got this game by the scruff of the neck by 27 points. If that's not bad enough news for the Kangaroos, Tony Jones, boundary side, might have some worse news for them, Tony.
Yeah, that's right, Eddie. The umpires aren't confirming anything yet, but what they are saying is there possibly will be a report. And I don't have a monitor here, but I think the incident you'll find involved Glenn Archer.
We're just watching it now.
Yeah, Glenn Archer and Daniel Chick. It happened right under your noses there in the broadcast box, right in front of the West Coast Eagles bench, and that's what caused that skirmish you would have seen in the third quarter between Chick and Archer. And I think from memory, Ed, Archer's already been rubbed out once this year, and they can ill afford to lose him again.
Well, we just had a look at it, and I tell you what, it's, if anything, a glancing... well, I don't think he's even made contact, but we'll have another look at it in a moment. Gary Lyons in the huddle with the Kangaroos. Gary, what can they do?
Well, look, he's really happy with the commitment. He's just impressed upon that, to forget about the scoreboard, the way they've been going about it. He said it's a big stage, Friday night football, big audience, the way they've attacked the game, no complaints at all. They're up against a very good outfit. They've just got to keep persevering with the way they've played. Nathan Thompson remains their best chance. They've got to try and give it as much space as they can, try and get it down, give them the opportunity. Obviously, Philip Matera has been a problem throughout the night, but they're staying with Troy Makepeace. You're going to stick with him with Phil Matera, Dino?
Oh, look, I just think we need some better kickers through the midfield. We haven't kicked the ball that well tonight, so they're going to put Daniel Pratt onto him and get Bakey in the midfield.
Right, mate. Well, Daniel Pratt going to go to Matera, see if he can't stitch him up, and They got great spirit, so we'll find out just how much they got it.
All right, well, there you go. Glenn Archer took that with good grace. And you see that there. He didn't... I don't think he made contact.
He did make contact, but look, he's probably got grounds even if he has made contact and the report is late. Chick's holding him. He sort of glances back so he knows where his arm's going. Yeah. But he's got grounds to say he's trying to break the hold and try and get away from it. Now, that is a dangerous match-up itself because Pratt is not quick off the mark.
No problem with the umpire in making the report, but you'd be very stiff if he gets rubbed out or has to go any further with that one, you'd think. Oh, there we go.
Cox goes after it. He had to fox it. Cousins had it smothered. He plays a strong tackle. Petrie tries to feed it out. Harvey over the football. Cox spins out only as far as Harris. Did well, Harris. Burrito broadens things. Petrie controlled it well. Kicks inside the forward 50. Awkward floating ball. They come from all directions. Loose at the back. Dragged down was Hale. No free. Pushed towards the pocket by Wirrapunda. He's been very solid back there. And out it goes. Well, the umpire's not having a great night tonight. Generally, I think the umpiring this season has been a vast improvement in the last couple. But tonight, not one of their best so far. But they've got time to improve, like the commentators. Hooked down behind by Hale. Grant got it out. Fletcher was taken high. He'll get the free kick.
I don't know where you entered politics, Dennis.
I can only speak for myself in that regard, but we'll try and push on. Here's Fletcher to the opposite pocket, and it's taken by Hunter. Swings it wide still.
Notice one thing about when Nathan Thompson's getting on the lead. Glass is staying with him now and putting the body in front of one of his arms, and he's not allowing him to raise both arms at once on the lead.
Cousins to Banfield to Staker.
So Staker on centre wing. Chips it forward to Selwood. Selwood now kicks in the man on the mark. Sainsbury gets it across to Harvey. Little chip kick, beautiful play. Simpson kicks it long. Kangaroos 2-on-2 here. They outfoxed themselves. Stenglein took a strong mark, chips it out to Wirrapunda. Wirrapunda further afield to Adkins. Damien Adkins on centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. Ooh, he stubbed his toe with that one. Took the bones out of it. Yeah, over the line and out of bounds. Right in front of Lance Piccioni before that kick was taken. And I say that, Den, because you love a stat and you wanted the commentary to improve. He is the most benched player in the league this year. Now over 60 times.
Most benched?
He is.
As in times on the bench?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Five times tonight. He's the respirator. He comes on to give somebody else a breather.
That is a good stat. There's Judd. Spends little time on the bench. Goes inside the forward 50. Thumped away by Brown. And out it goes. So, do we think he's ill-disciplined, or it's just because he is the respirator?
I think he's the respirator, as opposed to Dermott, who spent more time before the bench as a footballer.
Thank you, Edward. He's a burst player.
Okay. In front, Sainsbury. Colbert got boot to ball cleverly for Rito. Left half back towards the wing. Leading back in the race is Selwood. Wirrapunda coming across his bow. Missed him completely. Simpson is through. Clever kick. Favours Grant. Well done, Stenglein. That's an interesting duel. Grant trapped it. Stenglein recovered best. He's beaten him a couple of times one-on-one now. Braun, too tall for Cox. That's saying something. Waiting behind is Colbert. Chips it out wide. Hale has to go. Strong hands. That was a good mark on the wing.
See, Simpson should have had a bounce, run inside 50 to 45, and nothing was stopping him in kicking the goal. Some midfielders just always try and set it up and take it on themselves.
Jones spirals it towards the middle to his namesake. Behind is Braun. Coughed it up. Grant cleverly to Harvey. They need a goal. He provides it. His first.
Two gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch. 2 gin and tonics, 2 vodkas and a scotch.
Yes?
5 cougars, thanks.
Cougar, now in dark rum and cola.
So 21 points the difference here. The Kangaroos This is the centre break. This is the big one. They must get the next goal. And then they are right back in this game. Cox goes up. Petrie got the tap. Fletcher again out of the centre with the break. Colbert first to it. Bad bounce, but Rawlings was there to lend some support. Out to Archer now. Archer backs himself in, then kicks out wide to Harvey, who's starting to get amongst it. Picks it up on the half volley. Play on's the court. Opens up for him, though. He's able to find Ferrito, who read it beautifully. Just saw him turn inside. Now he goes without Fletcher. The kick is out to what they call the fat side, Dermot.
Yep.
It's a hold. Free kick going against Grant.
That was there. Shannon Grant had the right hand holding the jumper away from where the ball was coming. And 50 for... He's still got hold of the jumper there, but it was a clear hold. Watch this. Hang on, there it is.
You had his jumper.
No doubting he had the jumper. Stenglein comes across to Cox. And Cox is on the wing. Goes in short. Selwood playing it very much at their own tempo, the West Coast Eagles at the moment, and they lead by 21 points. Not insurmountable. The centering kick, Hansen comes hard, gives a contest, split the pack. Charging through was Archer. And caught one too. Normally he doesn't react like that. He wasn't staging. Atkins gets a hand pass away. Hunter, Archer on one knee behind the play. This is Cousins. 55 metres out, pulls it back there. One short back there. Petrie gets across. They've still got a problem. Butler had it knocked away by Watt. Well played. Sainsbury goes back to Petrie, who decides discretion is the better part of valour and steps back across the line, conceding a behind.
And here's Archer, just friendly fire.
Oh, yeah, right in the side of the ear.
I mean,
Jones' knee.
Yeah, I mean, unlike not unlike your old teammate Jason Dunstall that time when he hit the knee of Earl Sporting, I think, and suffered a fractured skull. 33,151 in tonight, a pretty good crowd.
And then the humility of wearing the ensuing helmet
and the beard.
Yeah.
Tony Jones's boundary side. Tony.
Yeah, Glenn Archer, he's not looking too good at the moment, Ed. He's been holding his head there, although he did manage to give a bit of a smile to his opponent.
He's dangerous.
Oh, he is fantastic, isn't he?
Yep. Straight back up as soon as he...
look at this bounce down here.
Yep.
Hunter is going to be free here. He'll give a Shepherd to go out the back to Fletcher eventually.
Well, Judd got it himself. Kicked it out. Over the line and out of bounds.
Now, the way they work it, Fletcher or Braun or Kerr, now Kerr's not on this bounce down, one of them pushes to the, as we look at it, the left-hand side of the bounce, and they feed it out backwards 9 times out of 10 first. Oh, they can go forward this time.
All right, well, there they go. They went back time. Selwood in the end, but it comes to Sainsbury. This is a big play for the Kangaroos. This is the chance of the night to get back into it. He runs in, he's steadied, he gives it to Harvey, 2 in a row to Harvey. They're back! The Kangas are back in it!
Brett Harvey, 23 possessions, 2 goals now. Slicing run by Sainsbury. And then releases the ball at just the right time. Harvey is through and splits the middle. So, the Kangaroos can still scent it. Petrie has done very well. But eventually, it comes to Cousins from Fletcher. Not the result the Kangaroos needed. Don't tell me. Philip Matera almost. He's paid the mark.
Pratt wrestled it free in the end.
Uncanny, the little guy.
He wasn't very close to him. Look at it.
Brand.
Oh, he didn't bring it down. Did not bring it down.
It wasn't there long. Matera comes in and kicks the goal. He's got 5 for the night.
with Toyota's special editions. The 4-cylinder Camry Altis Auto is just $26,488 drive away, with air conditioning and cruise control standard.
Can't wait. I want the feeling. Why wait? Get that feeling. Don't wait. Get the new Toyota feeling now.
Toyota's special editions, added value and genuine savings. Right now at your Toyota dealer.
Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Well, the umpire is looking right at his number there, the 33, and the ball was the other side, and he made the call.
Yes. 22 points the difference. Cox, a beautiful tap, and here they go. Cousins can go all the way here. From 50, he sets himself, kicks it long to the square. Matera again underneath it. Matera still in there lurking. Rush behind. And you sense it might have been the last chance cafe for the Kangaroos with those goals to Harvey. And the fact that Matera is able to answer straight away with another centre break.
He can play on here, Rush. See with the two West Coast Eagles 45 degrees out from him, he's probably attuned just to kicking in all the time, so not thinking of the tap on the foot.
Yes, Colbert has been very good. But a lot of the football.
23 possessions.
As his 24th now from right half back. At his best, Simpson. Had it knocked away. This is Ferrito. Steps around Jones, punches it down towards half forward. From behind, Nikoski was hanging on to Pachani, and Pachani will get the free kick. A lot of vowels out there on that right half forward flank.
He only needs a widow's peak in that hairdo, and he looked like Eddie Munster.
It's changed a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There goes the long high ball down towards full forward. Was that a free kick to Thompson? I think so.
Gee, where'd that come from?
There was a hand on the shoulder, I think, Durham.
Look, I have been very conciliatory towards the umpires this season, but for what I've seen, and I've gone with them most of the time. Look, they grappled first.
Come on, tonight that's a free kick.
Tonight. Look, and I don't like just to put the boots in for the sake, but this is the season low of umpiring, I reckon.
There's 3 teams out there.
Rod Stewart said it best. Tonight's the night. In comes Thompson, and he puts it through. He's got 5.
Well, the grapple came, and Thompson lowers his height, hooks the arm over from... He's in front. He hooks Glass's arm and drags it over his own shoulder. And then just the draping of the hand over the right shoulder of Thompson is the free kick. Well, see, Glass is always trying to retard the raising of the right arm for Thompson.
So, there we go. 3 goals to 1. The Kangaroos in this term. They're back in it. 17 points the difference. Centre break, all important. Him, Nikoski got it out to Judd. Judd puts the boot down and says, right, I'm going to carry it and find somebody. He didn't do that part of it, though. It was cut off by Jones. Now a chance for the Kangaroos. Sainsbury breaks the tackle. Did it well. Got it up to Jones. Kangaroos lurking left, right and centre. It's up. Harding has to stand underneath it. Thompson off hands. Lance Pachoni. Eddie Munster, as Dermot calls him. Around the body he goes. It's a beauty. Boomer Harvey's kicked 2 for the turn. He's kicked 3. 11 points the difference.
Well, Eddie Sainsbury, gee, I thought he was about to be cleared out there. Chris Judd, just such a fair player, just laid the tackle. Had he done something untowards and run into him and really cleaned him out, the ball would have stopped. It would have been a free kick, perhaps nothing more, and that's where it would have stopped, and they would have got numbers back. There would be no goal.
So what about this? A storming finish from the Kangaroos. The margin back to 11 points. And oodles of time remaining.
Cox.
Good bounce. Cox goes up, hooks it down. Fletcher has it out of the middle. They're generally winning in there. Colbert gets boot to ball, sends it out wide. Atkins leads in the race. Stevens pursuing him. They run out of space. Boundary throw in.
Fletcher once again started from behind Dean Cox. The little drop down and the ball just dribbles out the back door to him. He kicks forward.
That tells a story. Thrown in, Cox and Petrie fell behind them. Sainsbury, a late inclusion, got boot to ball. Butler, who started so well, lucky to get free, advanced it a couple of metres. Rawlings picked it up, kicks to midfield, on the burst Harding.
Room for Thompson on the lead.
A dangerous forward tonight, Harding. Goes to another. Up comes Thompson. Bounces behind him. Two men slipped over. Harvey once more goes with the outside of the boot. Kept it alive. Burrito couldn't control it. Coming up is Hale. Lays it off. Thompson's got it. Finds a way through. This will be a lifter. He's missed. That was a good effort, though.
Tell you what, Eddie Sainsbury, he hasn't had a heap of the ball in the midfield, but what he has done that they lacked in quarters 2 and 3, he's given them a little bit of pace around the packs. His ability to get to the ball first, and then when he gets his hands on it, just a couple of sharp little paces. Now, Wirrapunda, monster kick. Will he tap it on the boot and go for the centre of the ground? He's got no targets out there. He's going to have to pinpoint someone.
5 goals, 3 to Nathan Thompson, 5 goals, 2 to Philip Matera. We've got 11 and a half minutes, plenty of time as Fletcher's got it. He goes short to Braun. 10 points the difference. What a game we've got here on Friday Night Football. Mark taken out here by Glass.
Interesting matchup to Archer now on Philip Matera.
Good kick up the line to Judd.
I think when Pratt, even though he didn't mark that, Pratt starting 7 or 8 metres away from him as his starting point was fraught with danger if that's the way that Pratt plays close to goal on a quick play.
Judd too close to the man on the mark, had to put it up in the air. And Sainsbury's been dangerous. 2 assists for goals and a good kick out here to change the direction. And it goes to the skipper.
Simpson, they got
runs in and out of trouble and back into trouble. Back to Pratt, who thumps it long. Thompson's going to have to beat a few here. Up he goes. He did well enough to split the pack. Koski is in a bit of trouble. He is caught by Makepearce. Makepearce, good handball over the top. Cousins down defensive 40. Goes out wide of Stewart. And the mark's been taken out there by Banfield.
The Kangaroos cannot afford to panic into thinking this is our last roll of the dice. I mean, as I said it before, there's 1/8 of a game still to play. There's 10 minutes of full play to go. That's an eternity in league footy.
Canberra's had 7 disposals this quarter, including 3 clearances, and as I said, was instrumental in the setup of 2 goals. Ball over the line and out of bounds.
He's given
throw in centre wing. Yeah, has. Split the game open a bit.
Well, as I said, quarters 2 and 4, they have really lacked anybody that's just opened up play. That one when he ran inside 50 made the goal.
Petrie knocks it down. Sainsbury in there again. Fletcher digs it out. Nikoski couldn't control it. Judd a half chance. Petrie taken down by Seaby. Umpire says in the back.
Slow motion fall forward on him, but he did fall on him, but it was in slow motion. No one gets hurt in those. Look, he just tried it. He fell on him in the end. He just flew his own legs out.
Wide to Harding.
Finished with run.
This against the boundary line.
This is where you need Severio Rocket outside 50 to draw players out.
Wonderful effort this by the Kangaroos. Fighting back to the kick-off line. Thompson just missed it. Jones lurking behind. Release the footy. Thompson comes again. Was he taken high? He's a couple of metres in from the boundary. Glass has got it, wants the boundary. Came off the boot of Grant.
Yeah, is that before, eh?
I think so. Boundary throw in. And they're riding it out now with the assistance of our man.
Watch this. Was it out in the full? We think it was. Yeah, off the shin. Throw in the forward pocket for the Kangaroos. A little bit of luck there. Umpire blindsided the boundary umpire. Kerr, who's been quiet for a little while. Stingline got the kick out. Kangaroos. It's desperate stuff in there now. Harvey, who's been great. He's had 3. Out to Makepearce. Makepearce around the body. Over the head of the pack. It's nothing.
Well, that's a good result, though. The throw in will come to the top of the square. Dr. Peter Larkins, what's going on down there?
Yeah, Drew Petrie got dragged down in that contest, Ed, and twisted his right knee under his body. Got the free kick, but limping pretty heavily. He's come straight off.
So Hale will do the ruck work against Seaby. Throw in the forward pocket for the Kangaroos. Seaby gets front spot. There was a shallow throw in. It spills down to Fletcher. Does it well. Finds a bit of space. Has a bounce. Opens right up for him, and the kick was a beauty.
Non-dominant.
Oh, magnificent stuff to Staker, who ran to the spot.
Is inside the centre square then. 10 points the margin. Staker swings it out wide. On the other side wing, it's with Hunter, wasting no time. Advances the ball towards half forward. Good mark by Cousins. Banked everything on taking it cleanly. He did, along with a big divot. Between the lines, centre wing and half forward, the skipper takes on the man on the mark for Rito, who applied wonderful pressure and forced the error out of bounds on the full. That was uncharacteristic. Well done, that man. So once again, they'll build from the back, the Kangaroos, and if they got, I was going to say 50, they haven't. The umpire just setting the mark, Philip Matera on the mark, and Archer will have to do it again.
This is super effort by the Roos. When you go through all the Eagles' prime movers, Judd and Kerr and Cousins, they've all played 90 to about 92% of the game, so they've got a bit of rest time under their belt, whereas the Kangaroos' corresponding numbers have run the whole game out.
Yeah, very close to holding it. Seavey tried to push it forward to Cousins. Over the ball is Harris in the opposite direction. Seavey. Umpire blows the whistle. Rawlings arrives. Judd.
Come on!
Harvey, that's happening away from the ball.
Bounce it and get it on.
Judd, a little bit of a whack.
Everyone watch the footy?
Yes, he did.
Daniel Wells, he could have come Umpire seen it.
Yep. One for the cheer squad there. The North Melbourne fans. The Kangas got up on their toes. Look at this off the ball. And Fletcher just making a bit of room. Rawlings made the most of it. Inside 50 it goes. Thompson flies high. Off the back of the pack. Harding into the open goal. Has he got it? It's hit the post. No, it's still play on. Rushed.
Now, I'll say this. We look at the pressure that's applied. I wouldn't mind having a look at the tackle that's applied to Lee Harding.
Look at this. Didn't have the ball, did he?
No, he never secured it. He never got the footy.
Well, there you go. It doesn't matter. We're back to 11 points. We'd rather they don't make a decision and give one. This is a dangerous situation. Kangas have got the numbers. Jones just gives it back to Stevens. Back to Jones. Under pressure. Gets it to Colbert. Colbert breaks a tackle. Has a man on. Harvey's in the pocket. It stayed up in a long time. He should have gone the first option. They had numbers clear. But it was good play by the Eagle defence to thump it to the boundary line. Plenty of time. 7 minutes and 22 seconds. We've got another thriller on Friday Night Football in front of 33,151.
Now, little Fletcher's the one who wins the ball, but Sainsbury, his opponent with pace.
Down in front, Sten's line. Here's Fletcher. Forced to kick with the right boot. Sends it up towards the wing. Chick worked off the line of it. Atkins did well to Kerr. Kerr pulls it back to the middle. Seavey into space now. Got a very unkind bounce. Chick arrived quickly. Well done, Seavey. Chick kicks for space and Hansen. Hansen can run onto it. Go into an open goal. Smothered off the boot brilliantly by Watt. And the ball is ricocheted through for a behind.
I guarantee you with another 30-40 days of experience under his belt, Ash Hansen would sidestep that approaching player.
Think so. Just step around him. Watt was committed. As it was, Watt did brilliantly. Now Ferrito is getting a free kick at right half back. And this game really spilling over and the crowd getting very involved. Ferrito drives it towards midfield. Coming up strongly was Lynch. Knocked it to his own advantage. There's a man on in the square. Philip Matera. Nobody near him. And Lynch has kicked it behind.
Oh boy, two mistakes there. Lynch into the open goal. Matera was all on his own.
Well, earlier on the Kangaroos couldn't see him. Now the West Coast Eagles can.
There he is too. He's going to let him know about it.
That's a nice dance combination, that one. Bit of a lassoing. What about me in the square? Free kick to Simpson off the ball. Was pushed off.
That's the Simpson size for the marking contest against his opponent. Cousins that worried him into that spoil.
At the same time, Ferrito was over-ambitious with the kick out wide, and it was chopped off by Big Lynch. So
now they can't.
Even Stevens.
They can't panic the ball forward here. The Kangaroos still have to use it wisely.
11 points, plenty of time. Harding has been a real go-to player. 18th possession for Lee Harding. He's had a big night. 3 goals, 2. Now inside 50, he goes with the kick up towards Jones. Couldn't quite hold the mark, but he's done it beautifully. Picks it up, goes back to Boomer Harvey. Inside, just the 15. Pratt's got it.
Not a great kick.
He's kicked 1 point this year and one goal, 1 in his career.
And what made position then? Thompson signalling to kick it to the fat side into space.
He's a good kick of the ball, though. You reckon he's not? I'll back him in. All right, he's outside 50.
I reckon he's a bit of a slogger.
Comes in, puts it to the top of the square with an educated kick. Up they go. Off hands, it's Wirpunda, though, who kicks out in the full. Oh, the pressure's enormous here. It is enormous.
This is where you know Severio Rocker just hanging around 50, threatening to kick one from outside 50.
Harris has got it. He's 75 from home.
11 points the margin, just over 5 minutes now, so time becoming a factor. Back to Colbert.
That's it, mate.
He's about 80 metres from goal. He's almost back on the wing to take the kick. Lee Colbert. Plenty of bodies back inside his forward 50. Sets it up. Wirpunda anxious to make amends. Gutsy mark. Drifting across in front of the oncoming pack to take it. Kerr has it now. Jones runs ahead. That's ignored, at least initially. Cox wants it short, back towards the middle.
Now,
thinks about that.
The whole team virtually spreads forward, and so they'll find players in space. It'll only be short possession here for the Eagles.
Jones has got it. 15-10, 13-11. Just over 4.5 minutes now. That's out of bounds. Need to change the footy.
Is that 3 now that they've kicked out in the full in the last few minutes?
That's because they're all flooding into the back line, and you can't go long to somebody that's not there because it'll come back with interest. So they try and pick out the short pass, and they always go wide out of their back line, the Eagles.
There's Sandsbury back towards half-back. Clock continues to run. Plays it back to Colbert. Time of the essence. Colbert to the wing. Ferrito wheels around. That's better. Yes, move it on now. Ferrito needs a long kick. He obliges. Sends it long. Down towards Thompson, who battles. One out. Oh, wonderful. Wirpunda.
That's 3 in a row for Wirpunda.
He just picks the ball off in flight so well.
And 2 of them courageous, outstanding marks.
That is fantastic stuff. 25 disposals for David Wirpunda. He has been super tonight. Whoa, I tell you what, taking a while was Banfield. He's turned it over. Again, the Kangaroos have got the numbers here. Kerr's in trouble. Got the ball out. Harris can quickly get it on if he can pick it up. Great play by Cousins. That was a magnificent bump, because it's so easy to give away a free kick in those situations, and Cousins hit him hard enough to put him off the ball. Great play. Look at that.
Yeah, he totally knew what he was doing.
And the second one, I mean, he had to take a big man out of the contest there. 2 hard ball gets for him, or hard attempts anyway. Stink line to the boundary line was good football, and the ball is close enough to centre wing.
Now we're looking at the story here of the Kangaroos coming back, but how good are the West Coast Eagles at standing up here against great committed pressure? Pressure to the wrong spots.
How about that?
Lee Colbert's had 29 disposals. That is a career high at the Kangaroo for Lee Colbert.
Cox could have almost got a free kick there. Harris coughed it up. Away comes Cousins. Short passes. Hanson full-chested. He's marked 60 metres out. Chick says, take your time. He's got other ideas. Kicks for space. And Lynch is marked 35 metres out on a slight angle.
So Lee Brown has been tag-teamed all night. If it's not Lynch, it's Hanson. They're both on the ground now in the pressure time, so they've got 2 key forwards up there. But he just could not chase him around. We saw big Lee Brown on the back flank 30 seconds ago. He's had to run into the forward line, and then Lynch has run a hook turn. As soon as he got there, Lynch let out.
It was like an afterthought too, Lynch. Suddenly remembered, I've got to point to the umpire and show him where the mark is. They should do, I think we said a couple of weeks ago, Dirk, some of these forwards should do a Tiger Woods and carry a coin. Here's Lynch. It kicks from right on the 50. Gives it a right. He can kick it a long way. He's missed. Not by much, but he's missed. He's kicked 2-2, and still the Kangaroos are alive.
Just at the moment, they decide now to go long and strong up the middle of the ground. An ordinary kick, but it's got there, and Rawlings has taken the mark. The handball's onto Archer, crashes through, keeps his feet. Now he goes out wide to Harris, who has to go long and direct. Harris does exactly that. Thompson's got the man there. He's got the front spot off hands. Holding into the open goal. Can he get it? Yes, he misses. To that post. Well, if you could get 10 points for doing that, you'd never do it in a lifetime, would you?
And it's not even a fat bit, Dirk.
No, he's kicked 3 goals, 3. Can you believe this? Hardy, it's harder to do that than kick the goal.
It's an emancipated fat bit.
Yes, 3 goals, 4, in fact, for Harding tonight. Oh, look at even Gary Lyon's got his head in his hands.
Well, Laidley took the news pretty well. He was quite pragmatic about it.
11 points of difference. Derm, I won't say it could be a valuable point, because it would have been a lot more valuable as a goal, but Petrie's got it, and you never know, you're like in the big city, as Lou used to say.
Just forward of the wing.
He's got
50. He's got 50.
Yeah, Hanson ran through the mark, trying to get around to cut off Sainsbury, running around the hook turn on the back.
It's been a wild game, this one. Umpire Bozzo stepping it out. Worsfold loosening the collar.
And watch this, Sainsbury's run around. See Hanson's come through to try and cut him off.
Yeah.
So Petrie inside the 50, under 2 minutes. And this to pull it under a goal.
And the whole of the West Australian state is hoping you'll stand on the mark, Dennis.
I think Petrie will kick it down. And it comes. And he's missed it.
You are a classic.
Well, we shouldn't laugh.
I'll tell you what, though. That's 2 pulls that have been missed by the Kangaroos in the last 30 seconds of this game.
It is too.
In fairness, they're pretty tired, but yes, you'd expect him to kick that.
Petrie, I don't know if you can read into body language all that much, but he does look dead on his feet and has for 30 minutes.
And plenty of time in the 50-metre penalty, maybe to conjure somebody to come up and take it from him. But it's easy enough from here. Jeez, but there he is. He is dead on his feet. I mean, he has worked so hard tonight.
Yeah.
He's had to beat Seavey, he's had to beat Cox, the #1 ruckman in the competition, and he has fought a great battle. Let's not be too hard on him either. Here's a chance for the Kangas still. Corey Jones, they've got to get one here. The long bomb is inside. They all fly. Sam Brock has just come onto the ground. It sits for him. He's got it. He's kicked the goal. Big Sam, can you believe it? They're back in town with a minute out on the clock.
A storming finish by the Kangaroos. They've kicked the last 3 goals. Centre clearances in this term favour the West Coast Eagles. 5-1. Can they get another one here? Centre square infringement. It's going to the Kangaroos. Clock is stopped. 1 minute and 2 seconds. Petrie back on the ground after a minor adjustment. He came off briefly.
Oh, they've had him influence the umpires tonight.
It was down the other end. It was the front of the square infringement.
Petrie goes for distance, tumbles it inside the forward 50, almost the mark to Jones. He's getting a free kick. Well, how big is this? I don't think he paid the mark. I think it was over the shoulder. Jones squares it. And the ball is taken outside the defensive 50 by Lynch, and this may be enough for the West Coast Eagles. Another true kick here, and time could be consumed. It's a good kick too, well weighted. Banfield judged it nicely. Simpson coming back, couldn't get in the play. We're down to 25 seconds. Banfield over the top to Selwood. They work it by degrees around the boundary on the outer side. Under 20. It's slipping away. Nothing Gary Lyon can do. John Worsfold knows they've been challenged, but they're a well-disciplined outfit inside the forward 50. Archer commits to the pack, stops the clock with 5 seconds to go, but it seems the West Coast Eagles have won their 14th.
19 inside 50s to 8 Kangaroos way in the last quarter. They had their chances, some missed opportunities, and it's going to be it. The Eagles are going to hang on. The Kangaroos have sent a message that they're amongst the best teams in the competition in 2005, but take nothing away from the West Coast Eagles, because they are clearly the best team at the moment going around in the AFL. They've hung on in a tight one on a very unhappy hunting ground for the West Coast Eagles over the years at Telstra Dome, and have won by 4 points. A memorable win for the West Coast Eagles, 15-11, 101, have defeated the Kangaroos 14-13, 97. And Lee Harding will not sleep well tonight, remembering that last
slamming it into the woodwork
from the goal square.
It's good value. Nathan Thompson supplied a target all night. They dried up with their run in the midfield in quarters 2 and 3, and he just could not get out on the lead. Glenn Archer, well, did he have his number taken for a swing back on Daniel Chick on the wing in the 3rd quarter? He did have his number taken. Yep.
Let's go down to Tony Jones. He's with the 200 game play tonight. Daniel Chick.
Thanks very much, Eddie. Well, 200 gamer, as Eddie said there, and what a way to celebrate.
Yeah, it's a big win. It's
it's good fun playing Friday night in front of the country, and we don't get many games, so I really enjoyed it.
And not many at Telstra Dome, and as Eddie said in the box just a moment ago, it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for the boys.
Yeah, we've had some challenges this year. We've won in Adelaide, we've won in Brisbane, and we'll hopefully turn the record around here in the next few years.
Well, your record in Melbourne in general is going pretty well, isn't it? 3 out of 4 now.
Yeah, well, we've got to win in Melbourne if we want to play in the finals, and that's one of our goals this year, to do our best on the road.
Yes, it was a heck of a game, wasn't it? I mean, they just kept coming at you, and when you don't know how long's left to go, it must be frustrating.
Yeah, it was a long quarter. It was 31 minutes gone, I think, there, and I was just hoping the siren would go.
Yeah. And you might find yourself on a video link as a witness through the week, yeah?
Nah, not much in that one. What was that with?
Arch. Obviously not much in that one. All right, good on you, Daniel. Celebrate the win.
Everyone back in Northampton, my hometown.
Good on you, Daniel.
Right under Daniel Chick.
The code is true, isn't it?
He's a super bloke, Daniel Chick.
He's telling the truth, and good to see.
But he didn't know which one he was denying.
He's a super bloke. Spent a lot of time with him at Hawthorn, and
Nathan Thompson just ran over to him, former Hawthorn teammates, to shake his hand.
Yep, 200 games is a monster effort. You think of it, several hundred players have done it in the history of the game, and there's been around 12,000 players play league footy. It is a huge effort.
Now, this is interesting. I'm wondering if Gary Lyon is mic'd up, because Dean Laidley's gone in there to have a chat to his players to make the point. Gary, what's all this about?
Dean Laidley's been unbelievably accommodating today, but there comes a time where doesn't matter how generous he's been, I ain't going out there.
No, that's all right, mate. What was the feeling in the box in the last few minutes, particularly when Lee Harding hit the post from point-blank range?
Unbelievably calm, It's an amazing thing. People think, you see the pictures that we put back out to the viewers at home of coaches going off, and the things they get upset about and most frustrated with aren't those silly misses. I mean, he knows, everyone knows, Lee Harding knows he should have kicked that goal. It was just head down, having a look at the board, making sure that they're right for the rebound or the kick in from the full-back. But this is a pretty unbelievable footy team. The West Coast Eagles sit 4 games clear, and they opened it up, and it looked, I must admit, at three-quarter time, not knowing the club all that well, that I thought this team would get done by 6 or 7 goals, but Dean Laidley was nothing but positive. He said, commitment's been first rate, and obviously he's gone out there. I would imagine that would have been the tone of that message, but what I will do is follow these boys in and see if I can't get in the after game meeting and find out how they're going.
We'll just leave you there, mate, because we're just enjoying Daniel Chick's 200th game, chaired off the ground after 149 games with the Hawthorn Footy Club between 96 and 2002. He was the best and fairest at Hawthorn in 2000. A Rising Star nominee in 96. Some good judges back then, because he's certainly been a star of the game. And tonight, he celebrates his 200th game with a thrilling 4-point victory against the Kangaroos. And well done to Daniel Chick and the West Coast Eagles, coming all the way over on Friday Night Football. And Dennis, that was a big win for them.
It was, and I think it's safe to say too, Ed, that the video from this game will be scrutinised with an intense scrut. Some big names involved in some of the things that went on tonight, and it's going to be a tough week, I think, for those people examining the tape. But yes, full credit to the West Coast Eagles and John Worsfold. I mean, not a lot to play for. They're so clear at the top of the table. Their record now 14-1, which is really something to sing about.
They're flying high, all right. They are well clear on the top of the AFL ladder. They are now looking forward to playing home finals all the way to possibly the grand final. The Kangaroos tonight were gallant in defeat, but defeat they were 14-13-97, or defeat they suffered at least 14-13-97. Beaten by 4 points by the West Coast Eagles, 15-11-101. 27 scoring shots Kangaroos, 26 to the West Coast Eagles. But the figure that counts is the last one there, 97-101. The 4 points go to the West Coast Eagles. We'll be back to wrap up Friday Night Football right after the break. This is AFL on 9.
Sunday, for the first time,
Why is he going home with me?
Academy Award winner Sean Penn, Michelle Pfeiffer,
I've never lost at anything.
and Dakota Fanning.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Defending a love
Lucy belongs with me.
that lasts forever.
I need love.
I Am Sam. Premieres 8:30 Sunday on WIN.
Whether you're working out or working hard, Centrum can help. With Centrum, you benefit from what science is discovering about how vitamins and minerals help maintain health and unlock energy. Try Centrum. Do you feel 100%?
Welcome to Dodo.
Dodo, I'm ready to move up to broadband internet, but I don't want to spend a fortune.
Well, I'm your bird. My broadband internet plan with unlimited downloads is just $9.90 a month for the first 3 months. Plus call now for free setup options.
Wow, unlimited broadband for just $9.90 a month for the first 3 months?
And call now and you'll get a free MP3 player when you connect.
That'll save me heaps.
To all those baby-faced multi-millionaire sports stars who get paid too much, live in huge houses, have ridiculous haircuts, have never tipped, get paid to advertise anything, and will never enter a supermarket again, let alone know the price of milk, just because they kick a ball, we've got news for you. We ain't gonna pay you a cent to wear our products. You can carry on paying us. Skins, bio-acceleration technology.
Jack, can you please spell fireman?
Fireman. Thiamine. From the Greek thion, vitamin, also known as vitamin B1 and necessary for carbohydrate metabolism and normal neural activity.
Okay. Kids need vitamin B every day to maintain bright, attentive minds. And one of the world's richest known sources of vitamin B is Vegemite. Bright as bright can be.
It's here, the first paper towel you can use wet to effectively clean. It's Viva. With unique V-shaped ripples that provide absorbency and strength, it's the paper towel that stays strong when wet. Watch this test on a dirty stove. After wetting the towel and cleaning the stove, Viva stays strong and won't break up in your hand. Plus, it's still super absorbent when mopping up spills. Viva say life's be messy. So grab a Viva, try it wet, and test the cleaning strength for yourself. Brand power, helping you buy better.
Of course it's working, Jenny. Look at this. I've lost 16 kilos. See my teeny little waist? I'm almost invisible. Almost. You know, that's what's awesome about Jenny Craig. They've got all this new stuff. My favorite thing is chocolate cake. Yay, cake! You get what you want to eat, what you love. That's why we love this.
It's Jenny's mid-year sale. 6 weeks for just $36. Call 131 992.
I don't want to brag, but I am almost all that. Have you called Jenny yet?
At just 1 year old, I started Igion Sasha's blend to help relieve an elbow injury. After seeing great results, I now give it to all my dogs from a young age as a preventative.
Another true tale about Sasha's blend, the natural supplement to keep your pet mobile.
League leaders challenged tonight, but they prevailed by 4 points in a thriller on Friday Night Football. West Coast 15-11-101. The Kangaroos 14-13-97. Checking the goal scorers, the West Coast Eagles, Philip Matera again to the fore with 5, Lynch with 2 and a lot of singles. For the Kangaroos, Nathan Thompson continues his great form, 5 goals tonight. And Lee Harding, well, 3-4 tonight, including that open goal and the poster from about 3 metres out, and really that told the story in the dying minutes of the game. Another story, of course, was the fact that Gary Lyon was down in the coach's box with Dean Laidley, and they're united yet again. Let's go down to the rooms now.
Good on you, Dennis. Thanks a lot. First of all, mate, thank you for the access you've given us. It's been intriguing for me, but I've got to say, at three-quarter time, having been there and watched it all, I thought you were out on your feet, your boys. I thought you were going to lose by 5 goals.
Yeah, look, I was a bit similar, but look, we were able to throw it around. I thought, Eddie Sainsbury gave us a terrific run and gave us some good use of the footy early in the last quarter. And look, I just said to the boys, if we can kick the first couple of goals, get consecutive goals on them, then I suppose that perceived pressure comes in, and that's what started to happen. We just couldn't quite finish it off. But look, full credit to West Coast. Look, they're a champion side, and for me, I've been there, in the early days in the inception of the footy club, and I just think they're probably the most professional sporting organisation in Australia.
That's a big wrap. Look, I've been in the rooms here. You got 3 words that I'm not sure whether you're happy to tell us that are the trademark of this club that were born back in the pre-season days, and they were pretty evident tonight. Yeah, they were, and that was probably our main focus prior to the game about. Come hell or high water, it's the trademark of this footy club, and that's what's held us in good stead. And I thought the scoreboard didn't quite reflect it tonight, but look, I thought they were terrific. But as I said to the boys after the game, someone's got to pay for it, and let's make sure it's our opposition in 9 days' time. Not sure if you want to see these, but some misses, opportunities towards the end of the game that and I know the players would love another opportunity to have a crack at, but costly in the end, I guess. Yeah, look, I suppose if the game went for 2 minutes, you could probably blame Hardo for that, but I thought he was terrific, and I thought, his work rate has been enormous, and I thought Drew Petrie did a terrific job on Cox as well. So, look, we're not going to lay the blame on anyone, but look, the thing is that we're going to become a better side after having this experience. It was finals-type football out there tonight, and if they're the grand final favourites, well, hopefully we're in the ballpark. Well, it's a pretty big stage, as we like to say on Channel 9. Friday Night Footy is a big stage, and I think you guys set yourself, and I don't think you lost any fans. So well done, and good luck for the rest of the year. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Thanks,
Gary,
Ed.
Thanks, Gary. Before we let you go, Gary, let Dean go away, but just a few questions, your observations. You're a bloke who's coached Australia for the last 2 series in Ireland. So you're, what I'm saying is that you're no stranger to coaching star players and the like. What was the thing that you take from tonight that was the thing you'll talk about when you sit down and have a beer tonight with somebody? Yeah, well, I do. I want to run up and talk to you blokes. Exactly. When you have a beer with us, in fact. Well, that's the feeling you get, when you experience something like that. You just want to go and talk about it with someone. Look, to be from the start, Dean was great to sit down and talk through how they wanted to play and what their planning was. The thing that struck me is they are prepared for every contingency that comes their way. There wasn't one thing that happened out there that Dean Laidley or his assistant coaches threw their hands in the air and said, gee, we're not ready for that. They spent an enormous amount of time before the game going through what-if scenarios. What if CD plays back? What if they do this? And straight away they say, well, we do this. We push this player back, he goes to him. What if Cousins doesn't start in the middle? What if Judd doesn't start in the middle? And every contingency is planned. So that's the preparation, I guess, that you shouldn't be surprised about. They've got big coaching staffs and they're full-time professionals, but they prepared enormously well, and they also put a lot of stock, certainly Dean Laidley, in John Worsfold, the person, I guess, in terms of the way he coaches his team, what his values are were as a footballer, and how he's imposed them on his current list, and the fact that they play in a manner that John Worsfold would hope to play, one-on-one, hard footy, and that's, I guess, what they prepared for. So it was great. The box itself is 8 or 9 voices all going at once. Questions are asked, names are thrown around, matchups. There's an enormous amount of time spent on trying to get matchups right. And as I said, for me, it was a great lesson. I've been in Melbourne's coaching box when I was injured, of course, many times, unfortunately. But to be in a new environment and to see a whole new club and set up go about it was a great thrill. Gary, just quickly, the change, you said at the start of the game, the amount of information. Is it information overload at times, do you think, or has it just been so much of a change as far as the amount of available data and the matchups and things that you just illustrated to us that has changed even since the time you played? Yeah, well, no, I think we should make it clear. The most important thing is not information overload for these blokes behind me. The instruction and the plan and the game plan, very clear-cut and very straightforward. I guess if it's overload anywhere, it's for the assistants, but they seem to cope with it beautifully, and they need to. They need to be aware of all the different scenarios that could possibly thrown up during the course of a game, and they were ready for it, as would John Worsfold and his team be. So I think the important thing is it doesn't filter back. A lot of confusion sometimes, but it doesn't. The messages to the bench,
for the runner to go out and centre the players. Very clear, very concise, and I thought Dean coached really well, and I'm sure had I been able to sit in the West Coast box, you'd probably say the same thing.
Gary, just one question. You don't get away scot-free here. Anything you would have done differently? You heard them talking and you thought, no, I don't agree with that. And looking back in hindsight, I mean, obviously there would have been situations tonight where you felt, well, maybe that's not the right thing to do.
Well, I must admit, I thought...
Keep your voice down. Keep your voice down now.
Not around, is he? And mind you, I will say up front, I didn't open my gob the whole time, which is a very hard thing to do for me watching a game of footy. I thought Lee Harding was a standout winner, and the longer the game went, I thought his pace off the mark was continuing to expose Drew Banfield a bit. And probably on the other side of the coin, Nathan Thompson was dominant, particularly early in the game, but I thought Glass wore him down, whereas Thompson was still a great player. I thought that maybe to isolate Lee Harding perhaps later in the game with his pace and his ability to get to the footy might have been a good ploy. And I think every time the ball went over the back, not quite classic Pagan's paddock, but every time the footy went up and the ball went over the back, I think you found Harding and particularly Harvey and these quicker blokes very quick to get onto the footy and looked a bit dangerous. But, you know, that's just particularly forward line play, as always. That's where I tend to focus.
Gary, I'm going to ask you a question. I normally give 4 answers to pick from. I'll give you 3. Yes, no, or maybe. Would you like to coach?
Yes, I would, Edward. I would like to coach, but...
More on that later then. We'll leave you there to ponder that. OK. Gary Lyons' hat might be starting to go into the ring as far as coaching's concerned. We'll leave you there, Gary. That's an interesting one there, because he's always said no.
And speaking of coaches, John Worsfold is standing by, and he's with Dermot Brereton.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Well, Woosher, you're smiling after that. Did you cook them in there? You just came out a couple of seconds ago. Did you give them a cook?
No, I haven't. I've left them in there to sort out, you know, some of the things that they've learnt from the game. So really, I just was wrapped the way they approached it and the way they came away with the win.
Give you a chance to be the modern-day John Kennedy. How'd you rate the umpires?
I didn't notice them, mate. So
beautifully said. Now, tell us about that one, though. They really did come back pretty strong. You held the game pretty well for all the night, apart from the first quarter when they really pressed you. You'd rested some of your key playmakers. You come on in the last quarter and they clean you out.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's a lot of reasons in that last quarter that we'll learn from, but just mistakes, really, that cost us. That if the boys were a bit more composed, you know, the game probably shouldn't have got that close in the end. But you know, it's credit to the Kangaroos. They certainly came back and took their opportunities. But, you know, we're just very pleased to cope and learn a lot out of that game.
Well, obviously, if you do cave in completely in a situation like that, the game's lost. But even though you've got a young team, a good mix between young and experienced, you still held on. There's a few wise heads out there in the last quarter.
Yeah, there is, and that's why it's great. We've got very strong leaders, and our leaders are fairly young as well. You know, Kaz is only 26, so they're learning as well and learning from these different types of games. So, you know, for us tonight was just a ripper game. You know, at Telstra Dome, we get the stats thrown at us all week, you know, which, you know, I think it's a narrow-minded view to keep thinking that you can compare previous seasons and take those stats to say that any particular team is going to struggle on any particular ground. So, you know, these guys now have, I think, won on every game that AFL footy might be played at this year.
Well, tell us, Gary was in the Kangaroos box tonight and he fed information back to us on the way that the Kangaroos were approaching it. If there's one statistic, which you mentioned a second ago, if there's one statistic John Worsfold wants to know constantly throughout the game, what is it?
No, well, I can't really...
Injured men on the other team?
No, I'm not too fussed about that either, but we look at a lot of different things. We like to see how much, what our fresh legs are on the bench and how we can use those players.
14 wins, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
John Worsfold down there with Dermot Brereton. They, of course, met in the forward pocket at Subiaco one year there.
I remember that.
Everyone
vividly.
does. It was an absolute beauty and fantastic coverage tonight. And once again, to Dean Laidley and the Kangaroos, our utmost respect for them and gratitude for the fact that they allowed us in there to get such an insight. It's just fantastic to see these days that the doors that have been shut for so many years are starting to open. Some clubs still very, you know, tend to be a bit narrow-minded, but you can see a lot of clubs now just starting to let people in more people find out what's going on.
And it serves the Kangaroos to do it too. Well done, Kangaroos. Well done, Dean Lately.
All right, well, let's go down to a man who sometimes we muck around with, but let's not forget that he is not only one of the great sports doctors in the Cape, but a 1976 Olympian for Australia, the former 10,000-metre steeplechase champion, Dr. Peter Larkins. Pete, what do you got for us tonight?
Yeah, well, look, the West Coast players that we heard are still in the meeting behind, so the full assessments haven't been done. I don't think there'll be much concern for either club to come out of the night. Probably Brett Jones. We saw him come off the ground and spend some time in the rooms after pinching the back of his right knee in a contest, and he actually got back on the ground. It might be a bit sore tomorrow, but they certainly weren't concerned about him too much at the end of the game. And Drew Petrie, you mentioned how tired he looked, and he got the free kick when he got tackled and run down from behind, and he came up pretty sore in the right knee, the back of the right knee and upper right calf, and he got back on the ground, looked pretty sore, but again, I wouldn't expect that to be too much of a concern for him. Probably should just mention the incident with Adam Hunter on the concrete, Ed. It really could have been quite nasty. He came off and there's this rubber particle they put in the synthetic surface, but with the studs and boots that he had on, he went the big skid, and they brought out the tartan rug, Ed. It was purple and green. I don't think it was the Maguire clan, but it actually did solve the problem of the concrete being exposed, and so Adam Hunter escaped from any problems out of that. Probably just to reiterate for the Kangaroos fans, Daniel Wells, late withdrawal tonight, Ed, with a kangaroo virus. I think you'll find that a little bit more than the flu, but he's going to play next week for sure, so that'll be good news for him.
Good on you, Pete, down there, and also a good junior footballer at St Joseph's Geelong, and apparently Cleo won him for the Bachelor of the Year.
How long we got it? I mean...
Going beautifully, the doc. Thanks, Pete, for a very comprehensive report there tonight, as always, from Dr. Peter Larkins. We're going to take a break then.
Yep.
And then we'll come back and wrap up what has been a fascinating Friday night football. The Eagles holding on just by 4 points against the Kangaroos. This is AFL on 9.
The concert event that shook the world. Now, Live 8 returns in a special encore presentation. The performances you didn't see from the world's biggest stage. Don't miss the best of the rest. A special encore presentation. Live 8, Saturday 9:20 on WIN.
Whether you're working out or working hard, you'll want to feel 100%. I use Centrum. Centrum has 27 essential vitamins and minerals. Try Centrum. It's complete from A to Zinc. Do you feel 100%?
Gentlemen, we are being threatened by a new superpower. They have created superannuation with outrageously low fees. Lower fees mean more super for the people. They must be stopped. They must be stopped.
With low fees, Virgin Superannuation gives more power to your super. Switching's easy, so call 13 37 34.
Proud for Jewelers 5 days only jewellery bash on now. 50% off gold chains and bracelets, 50% off silver chains and bracelets, up to 50% off jewellery, up to 50% off everything. Hurry, Proud's jewellery bash on now.
Toilet paper. If you're looking for great family value and increased reliability, try new Wondersoft 3-ply. It combines 3 quilted sheets of tissue for increased thickness and strength. And as for value, Wondersoft's new 3-ply range comes in packs of 6 and 8 at a price lower than you'd think. So for great family value and 3-ply quality, choose Australian-made Wondersoft and feel the difference for yourself. Brand power, helping you buy better.
Of course it's working, Jenny. Look at this. I've lost 16 kilos. See my teeny little waist? I'm almost invisible. Almost. You know, that's what's awesome about Jenny Craig. They've got all this new stuff. My favorite thing is chocolate cake. Yay, cake! You get what you want to eat, what you love. That's why we love this.
It's Jenny's mid-year sale. 6 weeks for just $36. Call 131 992.
I don't want to brag, but I am almost all that. Have you called Jenny yet?
Tough luck, kids. We call all the shots. You can kiss the inheritance. Goodbye. Now the baby boomers live out their dreams.
Why shouldn't we enjoy ourselves?
Australia's new $10 billion tourist bonanza.
Just heading into the sunset. Yes!
And the greatest. Going for glory one more time.
What do you say?
How Lance Armstrong conquered cancer and the Tour de France.
I'll never suffer like I did then.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Millionaire gets a lesson in life.
I keep telling everybody.
From a teacher who's going to the top of the class.
Try to outsmart myself here.
Millionaire Monday on WIN.
Well, it was one of those nights tonight. It had everything. Great game of football, plenty of controversy. Umpires were in the gun for a while there. Then they fought back. Players made mistakes, played great, made mistakes, played great again. In the end, it was the West Coast Eagles holding on to win by 4 points. One loss for the season for the West Coast Eagles. They are dominating at the moment. And as you can see there, the Kangaroos led by 2 points at quarter time. After that, the West Coast Eagles out to 27 points at three-quarter time. Ended up winning by 4 points in front of 33,151 at the Dome on Friday Night Footy, Dennis.
And I think it's fair to say, Ed, the reports and video will play a big part in the aftermath of this game, I think, as we take a look at the votes from Dermot Brereton, David Wirrapunda, 25 possessions and some wonderful marks. He really is the total package. A couple of those marks in the dying minutes of the game, going back with the flight of the footy. Very courageous.
Yeah.
And match winning as it turned out. Tyson Stenglein did the job on Shannon Grant, held him goalless tonight. He gets 7 as well. You can see 4 sevens there. Philip Matera, so dangerous, particularly in the third term on the forward line. He finished with 5 goals. And Nathan Thompson just enjoying some of the best form of his career right now, 5 goals as well. So the league ladder, nothing changes at the top. Look at that margin. The West Coast Eagles 14-1, the Kangaroos 9-6. A poor percentage.
That's top 4 all day now for the West Coast Eagles. So they're done. I mean, it's a home final.
Yeah,
they're right. They're
done
set.
and dusted. The Kangaroos, I mentioned their percentage 98.3, but that's not going to come into effect, I don't think, simply because of what we saw tonight. They're good enough to play in the finals, no question. Stiff tonight, good performance against the best team going around. Still to come in this round, round 15, Port Adelaide against Melbourne, 2 sides coming off bad losses last week.
They're all big games this week, aren't they?
Absolutely. The Tigers win, and you'd say, well, they're almost there against the Bombers, who were very disappointing last week. Brisbane against Collingwood. Can the Magpies pull off an upset? Brisbane on a roll at the present time. Sydney against Geelong, that's a very important game. The Cats undermanned. Then on Sunday, I've got to say, I think the value bet of the round is Hawthorn. I know it sounds crazy, but I looked at the 2 teams and I think Hawthorn have got a chance. We're covering that one.
Sounds
St
crazy.
Kilda have me certified.
Now, this could be a crazy win too, you know.
That is crazy. St Kilda against Carlton and Fremantle against the Western Bulldogs.
They are crazy.
The Bulldogs travel well. They're a chance against Freo. $1.35 they're talking about Fremantle. Well, they won't get my money.
OK. On one serious note before we end tonight, one report that we know of so far, and that is Glenn Archer for allegedly striking Daniel Chick with a backhanded movement we saw. Daniel Chick gave his tribunal evidence tonight already on Friday Night Football, saying there was nothing in it.
I don't remember the incident, but there was nothing in it.
I think it should be a withdrawal. Having said that, the way things are going, he might get 10 weeks.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll find out. Let's hope not. That's been it for Friday Night Football. Fantastic Friday night again. Congratulations to the West Coast Eagles, sitting proudly on top of the AFL ladder. They are the team to beat in 2005. The Kangaroo spirit, the Shinboner spirit prevailed again tonight. They missed by 4 points but lost no friends in the journey. We hope you've enjoyed it tonight on Friday Night Football. This has been AFL on 9.
Good night.
Friday Night Football, a presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.
This telecast of the 2005 Toyota AFL Premiership season proudly brought to you by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy. Toyota. Footy. Oh, what a feeling. Cougar Bourbon. Aged 5 years and smooth. And Cascade Draft. You deserve a Cascade Draft.
A mass grave has been discovered in the forest.
Reported missing in 85.
Next question. Where's her head?
They know the killer is one of them.
Who's reading these reports?
But who? If you think you know,
You've done your homework.
You're dead wrong. All new Cold Case, Monday 9:35 on WIN.
From National 9 News, this is Nightline with Helen Kapelos.
London struggles back onto its feet, braving the underground, even as the death toll from the bombing attacks seems certain to rise. Good evening. The death toll from the London bombing already confirmed at more than 50 will almost certainly rise. 22 people are in critical condition, some of those not expected to survive. The grim reality comes as Londoners head back to work, despite the dangers and the fears of more attacks. Meanwhile, a massive manhunt has been launched to find those behind the atrocities. The first pictures have now emerged of the devastation of one of the trains, but the biggest task remaining is for rescue teams to recover bodies from the wreckage of the train at Russell Square in the city centre. Those carriages lie in one of the deepest underground tunnels in London, further hampering the effort and apparent collapse of part of the tunnel wall. For Londoners and the thousands of visitors there, the fear of further bombings on the city's transport network was today never far from their minds. There were a series of jittery alerts which fortunately turned out to be false alarms.
In London today, a mood of defiance. This was the capital's response to terror. In buses, on the tube and on foot, people made their way into work. On the number 30 bus route, passengers showed their resolve not to be intimidated by the men of violence. Most of the underground network is open. Everywhere, police highly visible on hand to reassure. Now the questions, who did it and where are they, as the biggest manhunt ever in the UK gets underway.
The most important statement I can make, however, is the implacable resolve of the Metropolitan Police Service to track down those who are responsible for these terrible events.
At the only visible bomb site in Tavistock Square, forensic scientists were still picking through the wreckage of the number 30 bus. This was mass murder committed without warning and without the security services having any idea what was about to be unleashed.
In a literal sense, it was a failure because we didn't know that the event was going to happen. I don't, however, think it was a failure of the intelligence services or of planning. The fact is that we are talking about looking for very, very evil needles in a very large haystack, the City of London. And we do our very, very best to try and establish what the threats are and where they are.
These pictures were taken in the immediate aftermath of the bus bomb, the injured still lying in the road. Today, one passenger who got off the bus just before the explosion said he saw an agitated man acting strangely.
He kept dipping into the bag and fiddling with something and then coming back up. It seemed very strange. He must have done this, I say 12, 20 times in the 4 or 5 minutes I was actually on the bus.
On the surface here at King's Cross, things look almost back to normal. Many people have been determined to get to work, others to get home for the weekend. But on the line between here and Russell Square is where the terrorist bombs took the most lives. And somewhere deep underground, rescue workers are still trying to bring out the last bodies.
All survivors have been rescued, though, over 700 treated in the capital's hospitals. Today, Prince Charles and Camilla visited some of the more seriously injured at St Mary's, Paddington.
It's been one of the things that many of us have dreaded happening for a long time, and finally, because they got through it. But what I can never get over is the incredible resilience of the British people, who set us all a fantastic example.
People are already starting to leave flowers and messages at King's Cross and the other 3 sites where terrorists wreaked their murderous havoc. Each of the dead loved and mourned. The death toll already over 50 and still rising.
For the security services, now desperate for any lead to those responsible, the task must seem daunting, sifting through the massive debris of the bombings. But they're confident it will only take one small break in the investigation to give them the scent of the bombers.
They are regarded as some of the best detectives in the world, and this will be their greatest challenge. Forensic experts from Scotland Yard's anti-terrorist unit have already begun what is likely to be Britain's most intensive manhunt. The scene of the bus bomb in Tavistock Square is only one of 4 crime scenes which have to be examined in the most minute detail. From tiny fragments of debris, evidence can be gathered which will help in the worldwide search for the source of the explosives and detonators and the identities of the bombers. But police warn that it will be a long and difficult job, especially as 3 of the crime scenes are underground.
They are very challenging scenes. Our people are working under the most extreme circumstances.
It was a similar challenge which faced police in Madrid after last year's train bombings. Spanish police had the good fortune to find one unexploded bomb, which led them to early arrests. Among the other sources of evidence for police in London is CCTV footage. And of course, eyewitnesses, such as passengers on the bus, pictured here just seconds after the blast. This is a truly international manhunt which could lead anywhere, back to the terrorist training camps in Afghanistan, or even to a homegrown terror unit somewhere in the heart of England.
The first members of an Australian team helping with the blast investigation are on their way to London tonight. Assistant Commissioner Peter Drennan is leading a group including a bomb expert and a counter-terrorism specialist.
To assist the UK police, firstly supporting them wherever possible, assisting them with the investigation where we can, and of course to learn as much as we can for our own purposes here in Australia as well.
The federal government volunteered the services of the team to Britain. To other news now, and a father of 11 has been sentenced to 24 years in jail for murdering a great-grandmother in her Blue Mountains home 2 years ago. A Sydney court was told Phyllis O'Brien was bashed, tied up and left to die after she interrupted 36-year-old Clarence White robbing her home. DNA from a cigarette led police to the killer. The wife of cricketer Shane Warne has returned home to Melbourne with her 3 children after announcing last week that her marriage was over. The family had a brief holiday together in Spain before splitting up. Shane Warne is back in England and is expected to join the Australian Test squad on Monday. Pop star Kylie Minogue today made her first public appearance since undergoing surgery for breast cancer. She visited the oncology ward of the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne to help lift the spirits of young patients still struggling with the disease. The sports now, and West Coast clashed with the Kangaroos in Melbourne tonight in the first game of round 15, but the 5th place Roos had a task ahead of them against the top of the table Eagles.
The Kangaroos were quick to get cracking. Daniel Harris hopped to it in just 21 seconds.
Harris, he snaps, and what a start.
The Eagles came together, and Brent Staker had the visitors in front.
And he's put it through.
Nathan Thompson then launched for his second and sealed it, taking a 2-point lead into quarter time. A 2-goal burst to start the second term had West Coast in charge. Plenty to like about the effort from Quinton Lynch. The Kangaroos back in the contest thanks to David Hale, playing despite a broken sinus bone, and Lee Harding. 200 gamer Daniel Chick had the Eagles in the clear by 10 points at half-time. And the Eagles made moves for more. Philip Matera was making it happen.
Wonderful kick.
Dean Cox also scoring with skill. Back chat from Glenn Archer only helped the Eagles, gifted another and a 26-point lead. Matera with more, he soon had 4 to his name, so too Thompson at the other end.
Thompson's got it! What a magnificent goal!
Despite his best efforts, the Kangaroos trailed by 27 points with a quarter to come. Brent Harvey had to go for the Roos, 2 quick goals, and a Kangaroos comeback was on the cards.
The Kangas are back in it!
He returned once again to put his stamp on the term and give the Eagles a fright.
11 points the difference!
2 goals down in a tense finish. Harding didn't help their cause.
Can he get it? Yes, he is! That post!
But Big Severio Rocker did find the gap.
Big save, can you believe it?
Just 4 points in it, West Coast held on to win by that margin. Their 14th win from 15 starts, coming with a scare. Leith Mulligan for Nightline.
St George Illawarra went into tonight's crucial round 18 match against Parramatta without key centre Mark Gasnier, who'd suffered a groin injury. The game was a chance for the Dragons to move into the top 4.
A sellout crowd of almost 21,000 provided some covered seating. Mark Gasnier, the only Origin player not to back up. His centre partner Matt Cooper, the first to run freely.
Morrison pursues.
A deflected kick through allowed Albert Torrance to slide St George Illawarra ahead.
Well, there's a chance on here.
Michael Ennis added 4 more points with penalty goals. 12-try winger Colin Best relieved the pressure for the Dragons with a solo run that ended about 50 metres later.
Now Best starts to extend down the left side.
Dean Widders made the impact for Parramatta. A burst and a flick sent Ben Smith over.
Flicks the pass out, and Ben Smith has gone in to score.
Trent Barrett then stumped Eric Groth.
Oh!
It jolted the Eels into attack. Michael Vella found Widders, who left the Dragons second-guessing.
Widders throws the dummy. He's still got support.
Groth slipped and failed to recover the loose ball, and the Dragons made them pay when Luke Bailey kept the ball alive for Cooper to score.
Bailey's with the ball. Bailey gets it away. Dragons have scored.
Widders' quick ball put Groth into a gap and then backed up to put Parramatta in front. Barrett took exception to PJ Marsh making this tackle. The St George Illawarra skipper let rip and distracted more than half the players from following the play. That left the Dragons with token resistance, and Wade McKinnon pushed the Eels to 22-14.
McKinnon will score.
Nathan Hindmarsh beat Dean Young in the battle between legs of 11.
Young was leading it, but it's...
Ben Smith played the man and got the ball, and then set sail for his hat-trick.
He's away. Referee said play on.
2 more tries put the polish to a 40-14 triumph.
Another try. Infield kick by Groth. They lead the race by a country mile.
Charles Christian for Nightline.
After the break, our nightly look at finance and tomorrow's weather details.
Tough luck, kids. We call all the shots. You can kiss the inheritance. Goodbye. Now the baby boomers live out their dreams.
Why shouldn't we enjoy ourselves?
Australia's new $10 billion tourist bonanza.
Just heading into the sunset. Yes!
And the greatest. Going for glory one more time.
What do you say?
How Lance Armstrong conquered cancer and the Tour de France.
I'll never suffer like I did then.
Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday.
By introducing a vineyard cost management system, Helen Carlson helps Southcorp enjoy more fruitful returns. As leader of his financial team, Keith Fong keeps Cathay Pacific's billion-dollar expansion on course. And by integrating operations across 20 countries, Kieran Rivet helped grow Sony Publishing into a sound business. Imagine what a CPA could do for your business.
With a passion for water, they inspire confidence, delivering design and engineering excellence that provides truly awesome levels of performance and safety. Adventure with confidence this summer in a Staby craft. From Lindsay Deegan Marine Ulverston, WIN TV Tasmania Boating.
Vero is one of Australia's largest insurers, with origins dating back to 1833. Our insurance experts look at your business from every angle to better understand your needs. Ask your broker about Vero Insurance. Vero, a deep understanding of your insurance needs. That's our angle.
It's here, the first paper towel you can use wet to effectively clean. It's Viva. With unique V-shaped ripples that provide absorbency and strength, it's the paper